When I look at what President Mahama have started doing, but I pray for that man, that God will continue to keep him.
Amen.
Because if you look at the things that he has done, and with a short time, just 6 months or 5 months in power, dollar has become 10 CD, 11 CD. Till now, dollar is still the same.
Hey.
For 4 months, dollar have come down, fuel has come down. Even the mistake that they made, that they increased the D-levy, the man said, no, I'll stop it. What didn't we say about E-levy? Some of us, we talk about E-levy, they started looking for a way to arrest me. Just because we are talking about E-levy. I told the president, I said, listen, sir, you cannot levy the people on a common business grand transaction. Abba, they say, I'm speaking against the government. When they brought the D-levy and people started talking, he said, please, we have stopped it. The Minister of Communication said that, hey, there are about 60 to, how many? 64 or 30 radio stations that...
Yes. We were going to collapse them.
They were going to collapse them, close them. President said, no. I say, what president is this? This man have changed. Do you know that the man is far above his ministers?
Yes, sir.
The ministers are not even able to catch the knowledge, the sense of humanity, and the sense of integrity the man is laying. They are confused. Because how can we follow the law? People have not paid their licenses. We have closed down their radio stations. We have closed down, cancel. The president said, no, for the sake of the people, give them time to pay. Restore their radio station. Restore their radio stations. Yeah. Wow. What a love. What a man that is thinking about the people. The people are controlling the people. And I look at my brother's MPP. Hey! I don't know what it. See, listen, when you are under spiritual attack, you may think that everything you are doing is right until you have finally consumed and destroyed yourself. After the election, even the general secretary came to make an announcement that this election was spiritual. If you had the knowledge and the spiritual intellect that the election was spiritual, that President Mahama won it spiritually, because even Asante people refused to go and vote for their blood party.
Hey!
If you knew this, you knew that this is spiritual, why don't you start spiritual approach first? All your pastors have left you. All the big men of, even the fathers of this country, nobody is aligned with the MPP again. The men of God that carry voices, there is a spiritual voices that can be gathered together. It's a currency. Voices are currency. Voices are what?
Currency.
There are people that when they speak for you, everybody will follow you. The first thing the NPP should have done is to go to pastors, go to men of God, and ask them for forgiveness, to pray for them, pray for the party. Aya, kipa data, selekusha. Hey. And then I told them they should do national thanksgiving and worship and forgiveness service. They should gather at the stadium to tell God, we are sorry. Ghanaians, we are sorry. We chop your money. We are sorry. We disrespected you. We are sorry.
We are sorry.
We disobeyed you. We are sorry.
We are sorry.
We abused power. We are sorry.
We are sorry.
So that you can win the heart of the people back to you. If I talk to them, they say no. They won't listen. Where are their spiritual voices? Where are their fathers? Where are their fathers? After you have cooled down the heart of the people, then you can start looking for a leader. Now you are going to start to go and choose a leader. These people didn't vote for you last 6 months. They didn't vote. They were tired of you people, and you are going to present the same people they didn't vote. Kappa, what they do you?
Honorable Minister for Education.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I've listened to the minority leader emphasizing a matter of constitutionality raised on the floor of the House by the Honorable Member for Tolong. Let me remind him that this House, the Parliament of Ghana, is not the forum for the resolution of constitutional matters. The appropriate forum in law on matters of constitutionality where there is a breach of the Constitution guided by Article 2 of the 1992 Constitution, the appropriate forum is the Supreme Court of Ghana. However, I note, Mr. Speaker, that you, the Speaker, presiding on any matter on the interpretation of our standing orders, the powers are vested in you, Mr. Speaker, to interpret as you deem fit and appropriate in accordance with law, and not in a matter which is capricious, but more importantly, Mr. Speaker, on any matter of constitutional interpretation, the appropriate forum is not the Parliament of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, votes and proceedings of yesterday, the leader has come, so I'm sure I was holding forth for him. I may yield to him. Tuesday, 24th June 2025, Mr. Speaker, attendance in the House, 229 members of Parliament. I agree with the Honorable Member for Tolong that in Article 104 and on the basis of the ruling of the Supreme Court in the Justice Abdullahi matter, Mr. Speaker, you have always guided us on this. There's a distinction between quorum to do business and quorum for a decision in Article 104. Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised he's raising it. Yesterday, your report, Mr. Speaker, and you are chair of the committee. In fact, we should commend you. I haven't seen an appointments committee report as comprehensive as what you presented yesterday. If any of you have one since 1993, share it with us. To the extent that back and forth, the minority leader is accommodated even to have preliminary views as part of your report, concluding views as part of the report. So, Mr. Speaker, yesterday you were six members here. You didn't take part in the vote. Why are you interested in the outcome of the vote? If you wanted to vote, even though you didn't take part in the vote, you were counted because you were present here. And that's what Article 104 indicates. Those present and voting. You registered your protest where you belong. But, Mr. Speaker, memory lane, interesting times, clerks at table, you recall, even post e-levy, we were not recorded in the votes and proceedings, e-levy, including our walkout, which was conspicuous to the Ghanaian people. I still recall, even that day, 6 of our members who were present in this chamber were marked absent. When I drew the Speaker's attention, if you recall, it was a day where we had State of the Nation address. But you, Mr. Speaker himself, presided and responded to you appropriately. There is no breach of the law. Supreme Court judges, this is not the first time they have been appointed. This is not the first time they have been approved by the House. They were approved with the minority registered in your report, Mr. Speaker, that they were not taking part in it. In any case, be informed that we have video record of what happened in this House. And Mr. Speaker, we were more than 139 on authority. We're more. Play the video at any time.
For me, the issue of vaccines is deeply personal. And that is because when I was growing up, one of my younger brothers was affected by polio. He was crippled. He lived with the stigma of his disability for many years. And eventually he was driven into depression and became an alcoholic. And he died from alcohol poisoning. I'm to look after the 2 children he left behind. And so I understand what life-saving vaccines are. The rest of us who grew up healthy and are here today were the lucky ones. And we grew up in a period where access to vaccines was close to zero in our part of Africa. Today, Gavi has changed all that and giving hope to millions of children. Across the world, many children are growing up to become responsible citizens of their communities because their lives were saved by Gavi's immunization. In Ghana, we're proud to be partners with Gavi, and I'm proud to say that in partnership with Gavi, Ghana has achieved 97% immunization coverage. But it means that another 3% is missing. And we're working hard to find those 65,000 children who are in remote areas that are difficult to reach. And I know that working with Gavi, we will be able to find those children and also give them the life-saving vaccines. Ghana is a lower middle income country, and so our partnership with Gavi is one of co-finance. And I'm proud to say that over the recent years, we spent almost $67 million on vaccines in partnership with Gavi. One of my first decisions as president was to uncap our national health insurance. The previous government had put a cap on the statutory fund of the national health insurance. So excess funding above a certain percentage of the budget went back into the consolidated fund. By uncapping the national health insurance, we've been able to give the insurance fund more than 3.5 billion cedis more. And so this has enabled the health insurance fund that puts up the funding for our partnership with Gavi to be able to front load $20 million for our co-finance partnership with Gavi this year. So on behalf of the children, I want to say thank you to Gavi. We are hoping that we'll fast track our weaning of Gavi by 2030. We're supposed to go off Gavi funding by 2030. And it's my expectation that we'll work hard to be like Indonesia and in future become a donor country to Gavi. On behalf of the children of Ghana, I want to say thank you to Gavi. We appreciate and we're proud of your partnership, but more so to say thank you to the countries that have just made significant pledges to the replenishment of Gavi. And I'm taking back the slogan, while others step back, we step up. Thank you very much for what you're doing. But to conclude, let me put the Gavi replenishment in context. Gavi is seeking to spend $9 billion over the next 5 years from 2026 to 2030. And that is to immunize 500 million children across the world. These children's life will be safe to grow up to become the scientists, engineers, nurses, teachers, and doctors of tomorrow. This morning while I was lying in bed, I did the research. And I realized that one B-2 Spirit bomber that dropped bombs on Iran recently cost $2.13 billion. If you work the math, what Gavi is seeking is the value of 4 of those B-2 bombers. Surely the world can afford the value of 4 B-2 bombers to save 500 million children. It's a choice we have to make. It's a choice we have to make between taking lives and saving lives. And I'm sure that we will save lives instead of taking lives. And so, On behalf of the children of Ghana, I say thank you to Gavi. I say thank you to all who have pledged today. Thank you very much. God bless you.
FM and also on TVSYZ. Inside Politics, in all the 16 regions across the country, north, south, east, and west. Mede Mugabe Maase between my friend Atankolega Biga, the capacity man, the fearless man, unbreakable, unstoppable, untouchable, and unbeatable. Yes. Bema by name, Mina Midi Jumedi Unina Chami, the whole Ghana, the only political talk show. Ejina Naso for the past 7 years on this platform are challenge to me challenge. Man with integrity, credibility high. You can't bribe him, you can't convince him, and I mean, you can't intervene in whatever decision that he takes. That is me, Atankolega Biga, the capacity man. I'm here with my Deputy CEO of the Airways, Alistair Tahiru Nelson. And they monologue no ebeye de. Na enra mama na me reflect it. Ebi Alistair best was be reflective. Tina me bon kompo akomechi ahwe niam bia SCA. Way back in 80s, 90s, and if it 2020 air ban. Enyema 2000 ebano enyema esi and who say it is good to be where we are today. Yakopon ayeden wa hye ne woni ma the time no de time na nie this is the right time. So be a chief justice or say a suspending no kwotene fie because sometimes omotumi a judge in their own court. Because we call them my lord. But the omunye nyame. Nyame. Onunkutu ena tumi nyina yeden eye ne dia. But yesi yepe kamima mekabi. So under this democratic dispensation, yedi tumi bi ashe bi mu ensa powers ne yibi dia mo into all the three arms, the executive, legislature, and then the judiciary. Media, no, we be in the fourth estate of the realm. We know you recognize it. Biasa, and you heard the echo. But today, and no Abraham Timmy Kema, meet suspended Chief Justice are on my beam. No, me beside one say, I want to read law, yes, and very soon I will start. Now. Me kan my dream say inti Ghana ha wo mom ye lawyers and wo ye judges nko ani nimrana same so me kenkan me obi a me ye history to me pa kenkan pa me classmate for mom no mo ko school dey o mo nim say akenkan dey me obi a me pa kenkan metima ye LPMC a e wo ha nyina me hwe paper bia so me classmate for me no mo wie school ubi sami ubia number telephone number mebo ama ubi sami ministers ubia number mebo ama me hwepepe bia so eye adom achede opa kenkan ya wokọ wanim especially ubia wo yensentwere ni da bia wo se wo ridi ti sometimes obi timi wo se Mugabe wonna ebeda na mada me da enye yie yes because me da de me no challenge no obesa me ho temi nda no wesa me ho ba bia me ko bia no me stars no mo shine because number 1 na me pe but then me bisa me ho say we chief justice suspended you knowing very well say ba bia ye duro no o resign a enye yie o retire enye yie na utu futuro go Ghana fo ani say when you're ready, say, over resign, about retire. I mean, what is all this sabe nonsense coming from? Like as if we don't read. We don't know A and we don't know B. All these are nonsense. It doesn't make sense to me. Because nonsense, I mean, it doesn't make sense to every Ghanaian. We'll be a parking kind. Yeah, we're reading 1992 constitution. Go, we're reading 2 out. No, sir, no, the mamma Becca, yes, I send me. So, journalists be to make our gun house say it. So, no, foot run over 2 years. Or public sympathy. But she won't get it from anywhere. And that is why I'm here today. Yes, so simple thing now open unya. Your appointees, those who appointed you, you can go and then dine with them, whatever you want to do with them, do with them. But the time is over. You can't resign and you can't retire. The law is what? The law is what? At least let me hear your voice. The law is what?
The law is the law.
The law is what?
The law is the law.
You can't resign and you can't retire at this stage.
Yes, not at all.
You can't.
That's what I prefer.
So you coming out as suspended Chief Justice to tell Ghanaians they say, won't resign and resign or China or retire. And you're nonsense, Madam Tokunu. And you're nonsense. It doesn't make any sense to any Ghanaian. You can't convince me. Because where we are now, no, you can't retire and you can't resign. Suspended Chief Justice. And now one more home, see and discuss so. Yes. And that 2020 a year elections, no. Muna waka say Jemesa mo medina da kam ana meboa. And I say ya mo bia medina ma wo haw. Abaye de boy tachi no. Saba na ne de babo. And this is former check. Yes. What's what corner James happy? I hear any boss when you now follow. 146 na. 146 na. Those media guys who have been paid to come out and defend this, I'm waiting for them. Messenra press conference na. A tokonumba ye useless. Suspended Chief Justice press conference na be a waste of your time. So Baji airwaves you know that peak time. You will see discussing your papa our Ghana. You have been suspended. Be in that corner. Be there. Remain there. We don't need anything from you, Madam Chief Justice. Yeah, you're suspended. You're suspended. We need powers to be able. Was I teacher go? I have go for. Was I go? Yes. Power na ya jumano. Sabaya odian. So say the law is the law. A man na ya jumano. Baby a pano. I want you say, yeah, tears are from now. Why in the Constitution? Tell us. Missimi Obia me parking kind. I don't need a lawyer to come and tell me, say, where we are, no, Madam Suspended Chief Justice, you can't retire or you can't what? Resign. That time is over. The initial stage, and I now want that well. So, 2 million year you can decide, say, you both didn't say, you refer where you need to Council of State, blah, blah, blah. You establish anything. That stage, can resign, you can't be any asem. By establishing prima what? Against what? You can't resign and you can't retire. The law is the law. So the other catchy heading in sabi a nonsense. I dare nonsense. Say just a bianya deni. Any muteni you not him did a useless nonsense and waste of our time. That big time. Waste. And that sympathy now, you will never get it. The law is the law. We know Timothy speak and say good. And now the office say, what do you want to do? Do power say who about addressing the nation about what? When you Ghana man about what? Are you the president? And you why say I mean why was I find your markings before no money so more opposition. Useless ones. Alisa, share in this country. Let me say it here today. I've gone through a lot. I have what? Gone through a lot. Minya land issue. They changed the judges 3 times. Yes. Last year, 15th May, 16th May, 2024, and a minya judgment. First one, you see the gun chain. Second one, you the gun chain. Third one, I fed ye. The metitini say, judge and a crown be a winning contest be. The matter say judge and a crown, court no dear seminal, Yachina yading, a few. Because obi the petitioner command chief justice took no way. And later, me be a Jawa Hano, to sa lawyer. No, the lawyer's name is Lawyer Kwaku Pencil. And if it's a man, he should stop that land. Ma winning no. And me say, me check a background no. Why you Juma Okufa do chambers me? And now no, what onyani chambers. Ti woman sit down when you know no be a tremansu, but only Mugabe na be den, e be tremansu assassin so. You can never fight Mugabe and win. Never. For 3 years, Adawudu was my lawyer. Adawudu. And I'm saying it here today. President one someone no sakwa withdraw that petition or the coin. I didn't want me to go forward. It is 1 year, over 1 year now. 16th May last year. I didn't want to go forward. Yes, and no nobody to come. Me a lawyer, minim judge, minim chief justice. Near the Benjamin for say, me a tankoliga bigger. We a man go to the land. Maje, would you know when you are draining in Aku because judgment near the Ekurami. I feel no bones of powers here, Juma. Yes, yes, and when money, you know, Mudilio. And look at the area. Wakokoto, Walusu. A senior lawyer, Walusu, with me Mugabe. No Walusu, Poto. Niasa final 20,000 Ghana. Now when no more tree, Niema. Say you be a what power over microphone. You're quite the way dear because you opposition. Well, access to the chief justice to obey petition ahead a command. Judge now. You can't go to the same court again. What prevents you from going to appeals court of appeal? When I stop all to obey a petition. Yes, and judge no soon minimum baby, many communicate. We ya mokwaye atamazuya, many communication be our baby. And yes, in the fight, mammy. Today, we don't know saying I can't with them. You can't continue. Yes, that Adama Pataku family, why you can't do blow. They will show you where power lies. Papa now they are court and say they are 80-something years. Oba court to amusonimu and I'm not frustro. Ye dia 7 years 1 month to no. Oba to me my dada papa is hard na be we court. You we anche no ye. And now there was a man step there and you see where power lies. Listen to the word. You see where power lies. I'm sending a warning to them today. Someone here near my baby behind the scenes, but some of us we decided not to talk. But the time is now for us to voice out. The judiciary. Afanyama case munim judge. To bet me a court. Now suspended chief justice see what to me I day. I set a panel say Mukodi Asemono. There be as no Timubi. Unanimous for it is over. That time, ye benya national security minister Abakachire say, Sadabiano judgment to go in favor of the government here, a threat to national security. For the first time, a sitting not former, serving a cabinet minister, serving under an administration. Ababa out Abakachire said, judiciary no, the Amoya no Musheni. I can't watch your mama time, I can't go 4 time. Tokono na uti hobi. Ene ya suspend o. Na me sameti yi, me general manager, ni ya suspend me na metifia. Asema kwaso wa ha me fa ho bai. Sebia me post ni ya interdict me asema IGP ni ko for eyo headquarters me wa no ho kwansa me de ma no kwa kotum ye investigate ye hwemu ni nwie utuma pa America ebe tu futura go Ghana fo ani suspended chief justice winim law also why a judge for 20 something years why a lawyer for by winim law you don't know the law obowa winim mra emra na ye de aka ko school kwa yenim ne say enya establishes prima facie against you want to me retire and want to me resign item ya mami tokuno obowa fie ni de obekọ wunya hweso kọ said you know one na ye no sa na yesu ma ye no so be 146 na shalato say edin no ye won so by press conference aba de bo touching and man de baba ye try magana ba for be pejo mu useless people thinking say the law is the law and baby o maduro no be atimi kan o masem am for bread under the useless president Akufo-Addo anymore. And the time is now for us say you better reset Ghana, you better reset the judiciary, you better reset the parliament, the executive, Bibia Juma code of conduct. Joma appointed bien who abakwa misbehave, who misbehave or fire, me medical fire. Kudos to Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Asiama. Fire them without fear or favor. Dr. Johnson Asiama, fire them without fear or favor. Ubi anya Ghana ninche ubi o. Yatra ana tokonumu hununa amanfo Ghana ha. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Tokomu hununa amanfo ha. Ya de judges, I'm people for them judges. And we don't for Ghana. That time, that era is over. Yes. Mikasa se obia. Me what to me na mikasa chiro. The time is now. And amamu we no me meka ho bi. Joma ama ofrelia ma freli or succeed ma succeed. Ghana subedi and John Mahama he has started very well. The lives of, my boss, Honorable Julius Zabra, Dr. Kalisus, Joyce Bawa, Sandogbe, Omo Buajo Mahama, the ministers, Dr. Omane Buama, Honorable Kofi Bua, Honorable Akando, Honorable George Napo, Honorable Samuel Okujoto Ablakwa, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Honorable Muntaka, Lawyer Sami Jemfi, Dr. Asiama, Dr. Keselatu Forsen, name them. Edoji Tamaklo, Honorable Elizabeth Ajare, Honorable Eric Opoku, Honorable Colin Zada, and Haja Yedin. Dr. Randy Abbey, Capacity Dr. Randy Abbey, my good brother, Dr. Randy Abbey, Honorable Kofi Adams, Elvis Afriye Ankra, Marietta Bill Opon, Malik Basintali, Eric Ajay, Asafo Ajay, Honorable Dr. Amwakohene, Honorable Nelson, Western Regional Minister, fantastic brother. Honorable Bukari, Transport Minister. Honorable, you name them. Ken Ajay. Namu mura fo ya makwa tena fie we ya. Ya soswane mu kakra bia na mu yedidi. Mu pedede wo Ghana ha. 146 na na adwuma no. Nothing has changed. Madam Suspended Chief Justice, being now your small corner, we are not ready to listen to any nonsense, any useless statement. For Hombra never discuss in the media. For Hombra, you have been suspended. Be quiet there. Quiet. You do
Be quiet and don't be
Be quiet and don't be silly.
Yes. Tell her.
We are the famous NDC. We are in power.
Yeah.
Suspended Chief Justice. Be quiet and don't be silly.
The law is the law.
The law is the law. Nothing has changed. Allow them to do their job. You are not better than those on the committee. You are not better than them. We've been at our court European press conference. What happened, Alyssa? Fire, let's go.
Mrs. Ruby Brown, me area mu. Mrs. Ruby Brown.
More fire.
Sister, she goes home tomorrow. Wow, 84 years. Wow,
More fire.
And Engineer Brown, the wife.
More fire.
Kaneshi Engineer be him say.
Yeah,
Mugabe. Show in some way Chief Justice, you know, I suspending now. Akakakra in the middle of investigations. Akakakra. You be I be pamono no. One who say waba public to come and
fire.
Court public sentiments. She would not get it. She's here to court public sympathies. She would not get it.
Now, where are you contempt?
Yes, it's a contempt of the committee's sitting because it's supposed to be in camera and nothing is supposed to be heard. Yes, the DPR Bontimba. Now, no, as you, the person who is being reviewed, who are here,
useless,
who are Pia Babonti, who say Nimra, on some catcher say, on only the no Kayano, the law is the law. No. Not 2 minutes crano.
Yes.
And now
there are 2 minutes finish.
And I make now say, if the law is the law, why ukita law now protecting law? You also must be checked. So one says, "See, Arino." Then they said the law is the law because it ended with her. But now it is beyond her. The law is the law. Is the law. See, I know and
she's not better than those.
I'm saying that the principles not the buy no. Etunasi. Because to me, just time tells the story. Mugabe, America create ya yehunu wo TV so na John Mahama kasa wo baby. Na shene nim say no see. Yes, look at her memes that she expressed on national television. Yesterday, I tried to see her face. How she's troubled. Shene nim, the nim ay to me sa semno. Electrify no. The law is an electricity.
The law is what?
It's an electricity.
More fire.
What do you say? One can hear more fire. Protective clothing. A bit shocking.
My ink come.
And I'm shocking. No. What do you see? Obi. You free fear. You go see law. What's it? 38 years. Bonche. The law is the law. The law is the law. The law is the law.
More fire.
Third one actually.
Yes.
1 year. 1 year. 1 year. Or maybe JM.
Any baby no.
No.
The time is soon.
When na. One no. Marking court 2:00 by 5. No, I am panel. We only
12 and
by 2. No, I am panel.
Yes, 1 year. Anyway,
time tells a story. I'm saying time tells a story. She should show me where our eyes. You now need a press conference to do what?
To do what?
In the middle of your investigation.
What are they saying here for?
I don't know.
And who should listen to?
No, maybe the 3.8%. That's what I'm addressing. Nobody will listen to me. Maybe Mrasi Obi. Move some more Jimu doors to see Obi.
What do you say?
What's that, Mranachu?
The law
is the law. Is the law. Third one. Third participant.
Where are your first half?
And actually no.
And the way you do so any other innocent.
We want to hear the voices of reason. They must rise above her discord. And then speak up because she wants to spill the law because she's in trouble and she has lost it. And no
one is above the
nobody is allowed. You call someone prison where who doctor no where who no. There be the law or no so. When you are someone who about Hobino, Abbas, Sule Ali
Gabas.
Yes, no. When who former headmaster, sister
Dr. Chembua.
When who Dr. Chembua, Amu Nipa, Amu Kita
Katamakwa.
When who
Chachuba Sunanamida.
Salome. So yeah, Papa, let me referee the Kwame Prepra. I'm body there. Sorry.
I was such a
MBA finance graduate. More fire. They have been to prison and back.
Dan Agbodapi.
Yes. No, a diversity implementation committee. Yesterday, they demonstrated her egoistic, arrogant, her
security. No, it shouldn't be.
Look at what she talks about. She talks about the opposition as Chief Justice. Me as Chief Justice. 6 feet at last. Who are there now? They call. Who are Chief Justice Organa? And I'm going to Chief Justice. And it must get to you clear. Pension emoluments are and you are not the first person as Chief Justice who has been removed. If you don't know, let me remind you. Justice Seyaku Kosa, are you any better person than that man? Yes. Kwame Nkrumah removed him when he failed to sentence the people who were
Seyaku Kosa.
Yes, Seyaku Kosa.
So social studies and now
Mugabe, I did all together.
Fantastic.
I know Aku Kosa. I know the grandson who is a lawyer today, a competent lawyer.
It was a chief justice. And yesterday said, "Where your first time, man? You're chief justice."
It cannot be true. She comes from Winnipeg. Aku Kosa comes from Winnipeg. Aku Kosa comes from Winnipeg. She should know
the same place.
Yes, where she comes from.
Thank you.
Aku Kosa was removed. Say Aku Kosa.
Fantastic.
I know the grandson. I'm saying he's an effective lawyer in town today.
More fire.
Giving many people legal services.
To
Highly
them.
intelligent person. And look, the reason for the in-camera hearing, you have broken it. The Article 146.2, you are in breach of the 1992 Constitution, madam. You are in breach of it. You have come to tell us the story as pertains in the in-camera hearing. We don't want to listen. The state does not want us to listen. That is why the state shelved it from us in this article. And there's a reason to it. You have broken the trust of the people, courting public sentiment. Yes. Now your certain committee in the middle of it. Who challenge the committee? Who look at the hatred and venom coming from your mouth against Gabriel, Pamwine, Scott. What? I mean, the chairman of the committee. Look at how the words that came out of your mouth to describe
useless statement.
To describe Gabriel Pamwine Scott. How and why? That's hatred. And then one of your vilifiers, I say so because you call them vilifiers, Daniel Ofori, who has a case against you. That man, look at the words you used to describe him. Mami pa officer ubro bi so. We are and you've got to do a press conference.
What?
This is what I call press theatrics. Theatrics of the press. Me yesterday I didn't watch. Me you do share. If I like we be fear come dum TV no. Go imamu ni ade. Dum TV no share. Onu ni
nonsense. Doesn't make sense.
Emre times has really told the
story.
Mugabe, look, this is a clear case of what I call a brazen orgy of a facade to cut public sentiments. Na nie we ono ka so tim na da se o mse be bia di na dunu e di na nusuo ni mu. What
say kura wo da nsuo ma
pray biom nti na wie ya ba nti so pray not do obi akọ since clutching onto straws on high oceans waka yes
fidie na yi no
nti Mugabe 146 na 146 na yes that is
edisalo to say call
146 na
James are preparing
you see 146 na
James aya boss man any apia hini
Mugabe yesterday it was a cacophony of unredeemed noises coming from that Tokonu woman. Tell her that I said so the law is the law.
She's nobody.
It's the law.
She's nobody.
She has been caught up in
suspended.
Yes.
Quiet.
You called those times.
Be quiet.
That there were cacophony of noises.
Be quiet.
Today,
Madam, House of Folk, you must say, be quiet and don't be silly.
Madam Tokonu, listen.
Fantastic.
The law is ahead of you.
Yes.
You rather went to learn the law. So the law is far ahead of you. And there are people who know the law better than you. You are put in your position not based on merit, but by political partisan coloration. And today it is clear. You sit with those people who appointed you at your press conference. They are the people who are running around you. A former attorney general is your lawyer. So everybody has seen your partisan coloration. Indeed, you could not be chief justice. Indeed, you cannot be chief justice as partisan as you have demonstrated even in recent times. So your suspension
spoke about
you will never come back.
About the judges.
That's Mugabe. That's what I want to tell you.
Shocked.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Listen, Mugabe. Anybody who wants to clutch onto that history is a wicked person. Because you're not the one who was killed. You're not the one. Kojoje Japan was killed. FP Sarkodie was killed. And Justice Grantinado. And then Major Aqua, he was colonel. He was dropped to Major Aqua in the army because of the involvements in trying to overthrow a champion's government. That's what I heard. Mugabe, as some way see under Article Law 15 of the PNDC law, they set up a committee quickly, a special investigations board, and do a Justice Azukrab, Samuel Azukrab. If you know his name in legal history, go and find out. He was the former Chief Justice of Ghana. He was made to head the special investigations board to oversee the trouble that had come. It was on 3rd July that Rawlings 1982 he was briefed. Quickly when they set up the board, investigations started. And don't think that we don't know the history. People were arrested and brought before the court. yes, you have Lance Corporal America and Lance Corporal Michael Senya, and then you have Johnny Jandu and Tony Teko, and then Joaquim Amate Kwe. These 5 people were brought and tried in the competent tribunal and sentenced to death. In the middle of the trial, America ran away. You can check in 1983, June 1983, breakout from this. He managed to run away. He ran away with Johnny Jandu and Tony Teko, but they were rearrested and brought back. But America got away. So those people were sentenced. And even when they were sentenced, former President Rawlings went to Joaquim Amate Kwe to hear his last words because of certain allegations that were going on around certain individuals that were close to Rawlings. I don't want to say this thing, but Mugabe, when Captain Kojo Chikata was about to pass on, he made a comment on air. He made a comment in the media that assembly they are telling me very painful comment, and I still share those sympathies. That somebody who knew nothing about it. So Rawlings went to where Amate Kwe was to find out from him finally what the true story was, and indeed people were indeed sent to prison. People were shot. Amate Kwe was killed by firing squad. So Mugabe, assembling in SCA, the SIB sat, they had their investigations, they prosecuted, and people were executed. It's 45 years or 44 years down the line when the judges were murdered. Why would anybody at this time try to clutch onto those straws? It's because they have belonged to that school of thought for a long time, and nobody has questioned them. The family of those affected, they must question this woman. You call up Edus Lodge a horror center. Edus Lodge is part of the state's hotels commission. Go and find the state hotels and catering rest house. It was part of it. And up until today, it's close to the castle. That's where we host, our big presidents who you don't need to take them to the hotel. You understand? You have a vista, big vista that you. So Edus Lodge is not a trial center. Even your courts, you Madam Tokonu, your courts that you presided over. When you get to Ghana courts, you are terrified. You enter any court and you have a matter with somebody, especially if it is criminal. You are terrified. Even your court environment, you couldn't change it. You are coming to tell us that Edus Lodge is what? You are talking about your uncle. You want to play on your uncle's death. And let me tell you something. I'll say it here now. Nobody hates
the time is now.
The time is now. Joaquim Amate Kwe, he was the personnel manager for Gihok. Joaquim, what's his name? Major Samakwa was the personnel manager for Gihok. And at the time, Gihok
give us the history.
They had gone on demonstration led by Joaquim Amate Kwe, and they were sacked. They ransacked Parliament on 5th June 1980, and they were all sacked. They went to court several times. So who sacked them? It was you, Samakwa, who sacked them. Then lo and behold, December 1981, there's a military coup. This guy also gets power. What do you think he'll do to you? If indeed he was the one who did it, what do you think he'll do to you? The
Edu Lodge facility that the hearings are being conducted in featured very prominently in the planning of the murder of judges on June 30th, 1981. And this can be read about in the special investigative report on that terrible event in our nation's history. It will be recalled that there was a Major Samakwa, a military officer who was killed with the 3 High Court justices, who was the director of human resource of Gihok. He was my uncle and my guardian when I entered the University of Ghana in September 1980. I was also living with him at the time he was abducted and murdered. Was Edu Lodge chosen for my inquiry to make me feel insecure? I think so. And I continue to hold the view that there's no reason why a judicial hearing is being conducted behind.
No, Alyssa, you know what? This woman is useless.
Yes.
And we shouldn't allow her to get nearer.
Yeah.
To that judiciary.
Yeah. Suspended.
She's nobody.
No, not at all.
No, she's nobody.
6 feet.
But no,
does he
read at all? Who commissioned Edus Lodge?
Is it not Nanado? Nanado ne refurbish or no commission here. So if it's a horror center, and then Nanado ne do horror now. She made a mistake in alluding to the
Educate her.
30th June 1982, madam. It's not 30th June 1981. You are in a rush. And why do you want to clutch on that history? If your uncle was involved, are you your uncle? Are you your uncle? Do you know what? Mugabe Maase can't tell. You think America, those in this smoke who went to pick the people up, you think they just went at gunpoint and they said, come and pass? I'm not tricking them. Say, you're 2 Rawlings. They have sacked Rawlings. They have moved Rawlings from where he is. So they need them to come and rationalize the state. So they even where they were at that position, they were coerced to follow up. One year, 2 OBI, see the power. I'm telling you, that's why one of the judges at that day, he managed to run away. Justice at that day, go and find out. The High Court judge, he managed to run away when those people came because Mukachire said, open power. Now, dear, I'm more Paco DH because who fear no yire. Why would you leave at that time in the middle of the night when you know there's a curfew when people are looking for you? You're a senior person in the society. Why should you know there's a curfew in town? NOPA. There are some of a bit of hold on. Or catch any coon said, no, stay behind, I'll go with them. Then you catch an air in the Dow Diomochi. Sana, Memanu Suekom feel they told their wives to stay back. Then you catch them. You catch them say 2 Rawlings ago. So they knew those lawyers. I'm telling you, I spoke to a military person. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I want to tell that part of the law. That part of the law. Say lawyers now. You want to hang on to this murder of the judges. You don't want to change the judiciary too. And you don't want the judiciary to represent the people's interest. Yes. Now only mediate. But I mediate the own. And then 26 June. And then 46 years I call Franco for free. Ebe kuom wo teshi enu de yanka wasem na that jubilated on that day 46 years ago. He drank wine oboya onumunsa he drank allegedly. Yes. Napa see you kunkrofo. People were shot. At Champon was shot 10 days earlier, and then those people were free far was brought all the 46 way. 46 exactly. I don't know why you brought me here today. 26 June. I don't know why. Today is exactly 46 and I want to remind everybody. I'm not part of your panel.
But did you ask me to bring you?
No.
But the angels.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Sir, they should know. And they should understand.
Why you are that is why you
time indeed tells the story.
You are the deputy CEO.
Thank you. I take it. I take it. Yes.
Tobo. Yenti ensemodi kan editu dwano.
Sir.
Okeka ye ni ade you do yenti.
Yenti kakra.
First one.
Fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here today to commission the renovated A.L. Edu Diplomatic Lodge, a facility that embodies the generosity, vision, and patriotism of one of Ghana's finest sons, Mr. Amisadai Larson Edu, A.L. Edu, as he was popularly known. Today, as we reflect on this exceptional project, we celebrate not only the physical edifice before us, but also the values and legacy of a man who dedicated his life to public service and diplomacy. Mr. A.L. Edu's contributions to Ghana and the international community serve as an enduring reminder of what one individual, guided by a sense of duty and love for his or her nation, can achieve. Mr. A.L. Edu was a trailblazer, a man who walked with humility and yet left indelible footprints. His service to the nation is a reflection of his belief that diplomacy is not just a profession, but also a calling to bridge divides, foster understanding, and create lasting change. His work reminds us all of the power of service, and his life is an example for this and future generations of Ghanaians to emulate. Ladies and gentlemen, this lodge is a gateway to possibilities. It has been designed to accommodate Ghanaian and foreign diplomats alike that can shape the future of Ghana and indeed of the world. With its 15 presidential suites, advanced meeting facilities, and cutting-edge translation services, it stands as a beacon of Ghana's commitment to fostering collaboration and addressing global challenges.
Thank you. Alisa.
Mugabe. Yao, Madame Tokonu, Babetra say testimonize.
Alisa, Debbie Amikacho say, be circumspect in your report.
Yes, that's it.
Do your checks and balance.
That's it.
Into Okasa.
Yeah.
Okasa with evidence.
Yeah,
evidence
that's it.
based. That is true journalism.
Say Amishadai last in Edu, Edu, whose name stands on the lodge, is a public servant to Ghana and a diplomat par excellence with humility and the kind of diplomacy that brought lasting change to our diplomatic terrain. That's Nanado describing Edu. And the lodge has 15 presidential suites, and a host of big rooms, what you call lounges, to host conferences for even hundreds of people. Yes, air conditioned, recently renovated place. Near Duwako baby, suitable say Usiedu's lodge. That's why I said that it is wrong for her to clutch onto that history and even to allegate that people planned in a Du's lodge to murder anybody. Does she have evidence? The Special Investigations Board under Azukrab, they reviewed all that they had. And I'm saying they sentenced people. America was sentenced in absentia. Tony Tepo was sentenced in absentia. Johnny Jandu, Amate Kwe, and Michael Senya, all of them. And you see, what pains me is that sometimes I look at these people and the family of these people who were murdered. They must do something to prevent even the Ghana Bar Association or even that Supreme Court from using their names again. They drag too much 44 years. They be on back. Sorry, they mark you call it. Why not Jesus cano? Yeah, the man will be so for. Akwalana no no for na. Ni mami ya didn't call ya. Ya abducting the car hono. Obi the sick be free. Sorry, them or their caution mama. I want to ask Koble Japan. Oh my, you be a boy mu payana. They should stop using the franchise. Koble Japan can. People would they don't count what some say. On why they hurting the family? I don't know why Japan cry to me by NDC. Now,
Mrs. Rhode Island, Imoro, Ayana. Also, as I say, the suspended Chief Justice was did herself no favors by holding the press conference.
Deeper now, Abonid in Rhode Island, Imoro, Ayana, Unimni Papa. Big politician in Ghana. Hey, Alaji Imoro, Ayana. Ask anybody, yes. In the 79 elections. Very big financier of the PNP.
I feel very pained that a woman that she is, that we all in this country as women have always advocated for more women to be in government structures, more women to hold leadership positions. And then I'm asking, so at the end of the day, assuming that Gertrude Torkornoo is kicked out, okay, assuming that the recommendation is that she's no longer Chief Justice, and she decides that she wants to take up maybe a position in another international organization, because we've had other people go and do other things after they've left their offices. Who would she be expecting to give her those recommendations? Because your country has to recommend you.
Indeed.
At least say something nice about you for other countries too. So if you go making it look like there's a political agenda, getting onto the government, would you expect the government to be able to give you that recommendation that you are a patriot of this country and that you are somebody that people can rely on and that you're loyal, you have integrity and all that? So she should be thinking of those things. And as much as she wants to get her bites, she should also know that there is a tomorrow. She's still a very young woman. She can hold all forms of positions, and she will need people to vouch for her sometimes in those situations. So
fantastic one. But yeah, my man, we on maybe what I'm seeing this afternoon from the angels, the 900 million angels, Jane Mason will follow her. Bossman will join them, and Apiahino will join them. Yes.
Mugabe.
One to me, Odin Chineboto 1,000. You go to someone? No.
Mugabe, 146 now.
But
Mami Okasa Eon. Najimudo. When you so Onyakwala, she's about 77, if I'm right. She's marrying 80. Yes. When you maybe senior bride is 72, into Mami will be 77 or thereabout. When you see me senior bride.
No, yeah, Papa, the last born. Right?
Yes, I think the last born or the last Oba or very rich man. You more Ayana. You mentioned the name in Ghana.
The Ayana family.
Yes, very big woman of the CPP slot. Mugabe, the woman, the Chief Justice, she must be submissive. She must learn to go through the process.
Who didn't tell you?
Show remorse. Mugabe, you don't court on. Yet he said Munti Asemno. at any MP anchor press conference. That's what I'm saying. That yes, so they said we should keep quiet, submit ourselves to the process until the process was over and we're sentenced. What you say? I don't know the unye process because in the middle of the sea, then you are contempt of process.
Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu.
Yeah, hey. Benefit Martin Pebu, professor of law. That's why I said the voices of reason.
Number one, her press conference exceeded the boundaries set in law, which is that when proceedings such as the Article 146 proceedings are pending, we are not allowed to comment on the merits, and leak and disclose what's going on. So it went way beyond the prescription of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says, and also in Article 146 Clause 8, that the proceedings are held in camera. They are supposed to be secretive so that it will help protect the whole system, the judiciary, and also the person facing the trial, in this case, the Chief Justice. So we'll look for Article 146 Clause 8, we'll read it. But in the meantime, that's why I've paraphrased. Then also, there are a number of Supreme Court decisions where the same point was made, that we should observe the secrecy, right? So you have the Justice Paul Derry versus Anas Tiger PI, right? That's 2015-2016 Supreme Court of Ghana law reports. The Supreme Court held so that no, don't disclose such proceedings, and that if somebody did, like what Chief Justice has done, that person opens him or herself up to. So the Supreme Court says when things like this happen, the committee can report or refer these events to the High Court, so that the High Court can deal with the contempt, because the committee is not a court, so they don't have powers of contempt. And even there are some courts which don't also even have powers of contempt, like the District Court and Circuit Court. When I say powers of contempt, I mean civil contempt. There's some type of contempt the court can, the District Court and the Circuit Court can deal with, but not every type. So the point is that what she's done, she's opened herself up. Of course, practically, because of the office she occupied, not many people may say the case should be taken to the High Court for contempt, not at this moment. But you see, she would have eroded a lot of the respect, okay? But I'm sure she did her calculations and saw that, look, she would want to erode some respect in order to bring to the fore things that should be done, reforms, etc., to make the system better. I'm sure that calculation, she's done it, and she's saying that she would rather go up, because he said, he who is down fears no fall. Because already what has happened.
Yeah. We're too much. Unless are we lawyers?
But the law near the free fee, go see law.
But the air can
but we have common sense and logic, and we listen. So that's exactly what we have been talking about. Well, see, that's why there's a case of a contempt, but the High Court will have to. So this is contempt of the committee's proceedings. That's why the court, a High Court, no one. Now, I will say we betray committee, baby, venue near this, so the security is exposed. So you know what you do. You know what you do to her first. Take her security from her. She has exposed the venue, and she has exposed. She's mentioned the name. Yes, she has mentioned the name of Daniel Fori, one of the witnesses, and mentioned the name of Gabriel Scott Panwine repeatedly. So you rather take her security away from her and let her feel the way she wants others to feel. Fantastic. And continue the case.
Let's listen to government spokesperson Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofosu. Almost response.
However, to correct certain misimpressions that were created at the briefing. To begin with, let me point out that as yet, nobody has been able to ascribe any known verifiable constitutional breach to the president in the way that he has handled this particular matter. From the very first steps in this matter, the president has kept fidelity to the Constitution. and has respected the spirit and letter of the Constitution. Everything he has done has been by the book. That is why all those who have commented on the matter, including Her Ladyship the Chief Justice, have been unable to point to any specific provision under Article 146 that the President has been in breach of. Second, in terms of confidentiality, the President has acted strictly in accordance with the Constitution. At no point in time has the Presidency put out anything in any way, shape, or form that remotely resembles any of the contents of the petition. And the only communication that has gone out on this matter have been about the steps that the President has taken in accordance with the 1992 Constitution, Article 146 to be precise. It's only intended to secure the place so that persons who are not authorized to be part of the proceedings do not come there and create any inconvenience. I believe that even if the hearings were held at the court premises, it will still be under significant security controls to ensure that only authorized persons have access to the place. So to describe Edu Lodge in the terms that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, did was most unfair and unjustifiable. It seeks to obscure the process and bring in unrelated matters that seek to cast some aspersion or ill motives on government for affording the committee a place to do its work. As I indicated, we have no interest in violating the Constitution by going into the merits of the case. And that is why government has refrained. Let me put it on record that government itself has had cause, indeed the President himself had cause, to lament the way in which some correspondence around this matter got into the media. You will recall that the very first sign of any leakage was the letter that the Chief Justice wrote requesting for copies of the petition. Before the letter got to the Presidency, it was in the media. And you recall that in the President's response, in which he also took the opportunity to forward the petition to her, we raised that issue, that it was not acceptable. Indeed, we had cause, the President had cause then to ask his Executive Secretary to mark the documents that were being sent to the Chief Justice in order to guard against any leakage. So at no point has anybody leaked anything. Also, it must be noted that even the media houses that first broadcast the content of these petitions were media houses that you can say are aligned to the opposition.
Very well. Honorable fellows, catch for so yeah, that's it. Live on TV as well as and also on Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics. And was so good to Uti and also sharing live. And every na Madam Suspended Chief Justice. Ya maybe. We reference some okay ewo gimpa. I mean kaiwe wa de okay no. Kana Ghana fonti.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
Yeah. The law is the law. No, si bia mo be make bia no. The law is the law. Resatam na ho fe okala na bie enei ni nyina yira. So what should be mommy, Mr. Producer?
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
Last one. Now me for S na cha menwa watanengu so asem ni yawie. Last one.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
No matter how much noise press conferences be no. S na cha menwa watanengu. The law is the law. Baby mwate. Bye bye. And you Gabriel say, "Ona nana dunko." Bye bye. The law is the law. Safini to maybe a Jumano. Media man bien ho, journalist bien ho. I'm the commander of the airwaves, the whole Ghana. Because we are son. Rebecca and running in a nonsense. Fantastic one. Let's move on. And Thursday 26th of June 2020 5 ndu adwuma ma Moses staff no obi ahumi ano wasresre akatua ne bantem atiase mo say they don't complain and manager mo say yes itua mo kantem dia mo man say thank you I reflect it madia mo so mo ba mo dua na manager e hu hwiu boa ene mbotoma de katua ne bantem atiase ne madeda na kwam tua kasa na staff no obi ni agena mora no soro nti what you say eze ama nti mo amade kamuntua do kanyina e ban frema mo esa na amanfo temafo na start frema e ban frema ka kire o nti opa men kwatema we easy force me bia metie me kwanye me kwaye de wotema me kwa ba age se me ka koto shock up doba me nkwatema de o ditema-temachi we hu mbeze me bo wodi ama asemasi enti we emfa sa victory nunia mwakwaba etama ko what say biabo ko de fantastic e jana so de na wo mai
e say de jana so no sa chiche obi bia ene ya wada onum seru ya wada say apomden komo na ya twetwe ene enkoma ye bedi efa edro we victory garlic mixture edini ye victory garlic mixture enya tentem ena ye de abadwaman so edro na enipa bebre edi ho adanse edro enipa bisa se ye edro ben na ye ka ho asem no edro ankofo adwene ho awom ntia sen eye victory garlic mixture edro na be ka ho asem ena mesra se ma me papa onua be ma bia wo hwemi na wutiem no mesa so wudi we fidie ne beto wa na waye asono watie san se osi de wasono nti da honhom no e ka kire asafo no awia nwuma bia wutiem fi bia nkoma ye bedi ni ye apomodin enkomo apomodin ade ba ko da se ni bia ntimi nyi emfi na brabum ene ntia nna bese me ni wundi nkomo kakra bi ene nkoma ye ba bedi no ye bedi e de afa kwan a oda se ni ye betimi afa so a obetimi agbo ne nipadua ne ho ban efi enyare wa wudo bebre ho victory garlic mixture eye do abadwaman so adanse ankofo edie no ene kwan efa so a ebo ma nipa pom dine sipie sita ebo adwene ntiase so maka che ose edro baji wa yatere makata do mfa hwema yenya ka kire wo se edro victory garlic mixture no ho adanse ne de yenka izan se enipa na enom da bia no wo mo adanse ne da na wo mo edi odofo tie mi esane se ye didi ne enom na ye hye ne ye kone ye benti no ye duane die mu no chemical bebre ewura ni padua mu enne enam a yewe chemicals ekom enne atosode awodo a yedidi ni nyina na ya na chemicals akom enkane no beko efifi a wodo mu no na ye wadro bi a yedi sifi a uchinchin na koba no benum bi ebebo ma ni padua no esipi esita ewohu ni padua ma moja no mu etimi edi afusa ni yi odofo humoja ntimi ni afusa ni yi a oda ntimi na yi eno ka ho bi obi wo a ohwemi sesi edu anadwa wontimi na ne be gusu saa na ade achen afa no pa ya bo be 6 na afa na wo be se woda odofo mesrew ese sa no pa no ni pedua ne nya ahode no so da hunu se ahode bia bo ni pedua ne mu obi bia da ne nerves no etimi relax na no pa we nya ahode ne uyo obi a wontimi na yenkasa bebre sing pele bia ton aduro bia na ko wo so pe victory garlic mixture garlic aduro na ba adwaman so no me pato mesrew obi wo no mo pachi nieje ye ken me se de bia me ka che o se me pe wo mo pachi nieje de onti se ye ka victory ho asem da de wate so na ya adwene no mu se me nkoto me nto de aye na adwene se ebia wakoto bi anyeno nti victory no onkoto safo na me ni mudi nkomo se edro baji we ya trema doctor mu akwada romantin ye de hwehwemu awodo agu akwam a doctor fo mutima abo bill e fa na pomodene edro we ya me no kasa fa ho ye edro a ye de garlic ene nyoma awodo bi a eye naturally made in Ghana or from victory garlic mixture ye do chemical biara enim additive biara encounter wo numa draw we ya wo arehemu se enkofa nsusu asoboni bia emrew ye de no ewo ewom ye de ewo enso afra se de be ya onom na betimi esese ni pedua ade ba kwa victory garlic mixture eye ne se ewo hu ni pedua ma hunti no emu da wo se de be ya moja betimi apompi ye dia kwa akoma no ho se de be de bia benya hoden odofo wudi na wonom de chemicals etere ni pedua no uyo obi a wota no victory garlic mixture chemical biara ebia efa aduane mu afa nsoma ko ni pedua no mu sa edu we break chemicals na se ene nje be chepa se obete se oba bi ye wo ya obi bi onum victory garlic mixture no eya na yade ene ne tonkwanta wo paisa ne se ennuane nura wodo a wo victory garlic mixture mu wonum bie no na ohu ni peduane mu siesie ni peduane mu emmoja ne mu ade bia ba mu bie afa aduane mu afa ensuom ene yeduane nyina ho akoba asem ene ye nsuo no mu nyina ho akoba asem yese esane se untimi ntina sa asiso abra woni die nti wodi nasa wonum bia wi a esane se chemical betimi akoni peduane mu afa mframa mu ensuom na aduane mu ntino kopa victory garlic mixture odrowe yene ti setiti edudo na wo fie no o manu enum bi maame num bi papa num bi ye membra obi a wanyine so ye maame ya papa nom no me na me maame bi wo fie wo hwe me onyankopɔ nyansabo akobo ni pedua no na ni pedua no wa hodene nanso ya bra ye nyini kɔ ya nim na ni pedua na kwa ni bi adwodwo obi wo hɔ no ma wonyine we hu se wana se wonti ni mu atwetwem obi wo hɔ no ma me ne kase wa ye panyini obi hu se hɔ no ma na se ni pedua mu ahyehye no uyo obi a woni pedua mu ahyehye wana wonti ni mu atwetwem enye wo na wa ye nature ebra wonyini no na ni pedua na kwa bi no adwodwo ene ti obi wo hɔ no ma wa se me mranji na me wa hodene pa esa ne se sanyama we nyina nti ne ka kyo se unya enoma bi a eye ennuane nuru obo ade na abo wo ennuane mu ne ye de edo victory garlic mixture sa wonu bi ko ni peduane mu a woni peduane akwa bi enoma bi a obo ade nyansa bo akwade bo wa unyini mu no ne ntinim adwojo eka wo bi ma ni peduane wa na wontinim mu twetwom wa ase woni peduane mu ehyehyem unum victory garlic mixture o de sanyama ne nyina bebe wiye sa o hawo na wo fa mu ne ma me papa ebekọ uwa maame bi wo fie papa bi wo fie wedi every 40 ekosoro emane ma victory garlic mixture empa ne ho da esanse droway ebra wo nom no enema bi e woni peduane mu a eye dada eka ho bi ma ne peduane mu atwetwe no emma na pomodin CPN sita obi wo ho no ba da be so di na ne peduane mu aye no hojo obi wo ho no mo beda be so di bia na ne peduane mu aye memre ase da ya bo no pacha obi bia mo esanse wonda na wo da na entinya nko yie woni peduane nerves no entinya relax ye ka ho bi enu nti na pa wo so de ya ni peduane mu aye hojo no wo de pe victory garlic mixture ni binanum wo ni peduane mu a ya se soja e de aguma mu hyehyem wa na se unti nim atwetwem ni nyina wo de ni nyina na ebeba wie inflammation se na meka no ni nyina no unu medro victory garlic mixture wo de ni unu meto nkwanta na mapai obi wo ho no ma wo hwe me wa no makoma bo periperi wo obi wa wakoma eta bo periperi oye nyima kakra bia na wabre abrantie oye nyima kakra bia na wabre obi si me amazing anka na mitimi ya adwuma eche kakra sesi ai nya nyima kakra bia na mabre odofo ma me kanche oni nyina na se ya ka to se victory garlic mixture ebetimi de yansase ya bo se yanta mo ya de yese wo de kope victory garlic mixture de bi na sha sese wo no edro beje wo ya trema ye de ya ka che se ye wa rehyem wo gidie wo re ya ye nimu se adanse nkofo de ne bo adwene ntiase so obi wo hono ma wo hwe me wo wenya infection bi wo ba wo white wo ye bema se bi wenya gonorrhea da wenya syphilis da wenya enam yare bi ada se wo no wan treat ni ye na anko adan ko ma bi e ba ko fo yare kase bi e de abro ni padua no ene nti mesra wo se infection bi ada wenya no victory garlic mixture edru ankeja ankeja ne de numu ennuane na wo do no na yaka ni nyina de bom de victory garlic mixture eba Ghana hanom adanse ankofo diem ya mekato sa adanse de membesa meka ho asem se adanse ni hu anka na me no kasem amama ya wodo bi kra anyi ntum ena me no kasei bebebre wo honom a etra Ghana victory garlic mixture nkopa daroma akakoduru honom a wono so ogini din ede ewo ho ene nti mesram uyo obi nso amese infection bia ha uyo ba wenya white per victory garlic mixture faka wadura wonom nanom na beboa se na be ya uni peduanum a virus bi na ma se bacteria bi re ne peduane mu a e de yare abetsa ne peduane so no e ma sa infection ni nyina da akọ wo yo ba tie me nuanam ma no onyankopon nyansabo akọ adwene mu no esese wo nsebuo no e ba efi enanum kosi enanson obi wo hono ma wo yo ba se ne menses ba obi abete ne nka obabi owo na ese eya wa edi akire barom eya na ebi wo hono ma ya rehosem obi wo honom nso a ne vichire kɔ no eba na enu nansa enamiensa na atwa ma me papa tie me papa wo no ofie wo yere na o sa o haw ni bi eya wo ba na wo sa o haw ni bi wo ye oba bi a wo hwe me wo so wo sa o haw ni bi o medicine eba na ye wo ya eba nso e masa de sese eba no wo de enum victory garlic mixture do ni bi victory garlic mixture edro no a aba adwama nso a adanse nkofo di edro we na wo no ma wo de ebo ba ko ekumi no ma bebre esan so obi wo hono mo a ne nsa aye ne titiriti wo obi so a wo nsa aye utitiriti o de onanse epem ho obeda be so be na se ne nsa no agene obi wo no ma empabo se ne nase na ewra wonte odofo ma me papa onua be ma wo fa sa o hawe mu memfa ne se eye bibi tra keke esa ne se ade biada yare bia ba nipadwa no mu e wade bia e fa enkaibo e na ye signs and symptoms eno nti yare bia ba nipadwa mu am obo nipadwa no kokose hwe ho yi ansamaba eno na ye mu bebre ho no mu a yemfa yadwene nkoso ye kan obi ma yare wa adoso no uyo obi a wo hwe me na wutie mi e wona se wo nase atata empabo hyew na ewura wonti aya na wonsa aya otitiriti obi wo no ma odne za beto ne ho sa na agene na se na adwene afi ne ho so ma me papa onua ba ma maka to se kope victory garlic mixture do ni binanom se wo pese do ni binom a oni pedua na aya otitiriti wonsa aya otitiriti oni pedua na se wonase etata ya aya na wo de pemmo ni nyina no ebe ya de ebe twom kabia wo de ni nyina beba ewiye afi obi bia wo diabetes wo pressure obi pi kwa na ekosoro odofo mesro kope victory garlic mixture se wo edro bi a wo no bia wo diabetes wo pressure doctor ama wo edro bi me bese me bo edro bi adin edro na wo nom no se wo no wo edro ni wi a 15 to 30 minutes time no one victory garlic mixture ubehunu se sa yade na koye ne ho yade bia asa eko asa eba obi won ma tra ne so amfi bebre yade yesen kope victory garlic mixture do libina no keke faka wedo na se no na ubehunu se ye wadro na ye wadro victory garlic mixture a doctor for mutima bo bew a doctor mwako edanom de bia da yesua de ye ma ye dro no ye dandan ye ni de bi fa se de be ya eza de bebre na ho honom emmo wa na rero mu ni nyina na de yade ba no eya na wo me very smart na ofia na okoduru ha enti na ba ya so ya yesua de ni yesua se da ni pedua na esi eda ne dane se da ni pedua na kwa no esi ya adwuma na yetumi aye aduru betima bo ni pedua ma pom na si piesita se unia pomuden ye kwa wuntimi nkobi yesen mentwen yare ansa wapa victory garlic mixture do ni bi na wanom uyo obi awefu ayekese bebre obu a meche nefu ayekese obu a doctor a diagnose wa chere osem uwa yare bi oni pedua ni mu a eboa eha wa adwen papa kope victory garlic mixture wefu ayekese bebre cholesterol doctor aka chere osem uwa cholesterol fat obu won anadwo didie nti ama nefu ayekese bebre wodi anyina ne se wodi di a per victory garlic mixture dro no uyo obi a wefu ayekese na se wo pese etweam tie nkomo we yie pa wefu ayekese wo pese victory garlic mixture do num bia ba fom a anopa wundidi ye no num to no nitini mienum awia wodi wia no mienum anwumre wodi wie nso anum mienu se uni osade a obetimi anom no na empty stomach anopa odofo se wo osadidi ansa wanum victory garlic mixture do ni bi sada be ya ebetimi agbo no apomden ACP na esita numbers no na egu school no so mesa webo e di amam ye wo doctor Muako wo honom wo fe number ni siesia no be kasa ye be ne yese wo beto adura wo to wie pe wo fe doka obesa mo free doctor's advice number ni ye 0242 54 56 33 0242 54 56 33 and I said 020 129 3280. Your numbers are Nijuma Oya Soya Mienu, Uko Misty Herba, Abenya be Colinac, Habe Pharmacy, PFA Pharmacy, Afe, Tinated Herbal Center, a free the first region. Man told baby a to a draw Ghana, her baby biada. Udu one of my other also per victory garlic mixture. Baby bia was Santimantem, Northern region, voter region. El baby. Oko a woso pe victory garlic mixture won saka bia frɛ na oni ndi ho nkomo ebra ni nti je do besi ane ya hye hunkran sem bo apomudin ho ban afindare wa mantwan yade ansa wa pe victory garlic mixture do ni mu kwan na be bo ama ebuso ni na apomudin ACP na asita edro beche wa eyatrema kasa dodo de eya na emfa hwema ene nti bo ho modin se edro we bi empa wo fie da boso mi biara ya ho edro san se dua ema edro.
Middle. They're not Biana. I'm for you to be so every time. I just say, baby, shit. My gosh.
Junior! I'm saying so now for maybe the no. Sister Coast Pa. It's only gas. I'm using the why. Why?
Down Yankanawa.
Ah, Sister Coast. Use gas. Gas ye fast, ye easy, ye convenient. Wow.
Let me see your hand. Ooh, I got
Welcome back. The law is the law. Hey, say, let me know, say, Munti 3, one day, met me at Jimmy say, the law is the law. Now, Judge, I'm ratching. Our Casa Bibri, she said, what do the money post? Yeah, Mamma Tokunu. The law is the law. Your mama PC. Ready, Yankopo. Hey, your mama, de Magana, Magana, missing me. I'm a more way me damn to me da. Papa, your mama, me da, your mama, son. Me da. And for man, born on the wind of changing a blow, Suhano. Ah, me papa, your mama. Me boss honorable Jilo Zebra die be me amehwe asa de demia na ho de ne kwatenten me pressure na wo wadi bi kakra na ve kwa de obi a ono o ya suspend ne wato so no ono kwa no onanim chewo about 2008 right and now 2019 ya na obai yetete efie kakra kra wo nya 4 months kra wo ultimate refie suspended chief justice ya wonim say the oba be contempt no oba be the contempt it is entimu ya mu bi na contempt ti mechi yana se contempt ya juma pa dia ma me won contempt chi no the law is the law say the law ni a law pa dia mami sata makufa do wapa wai utimi se okasa na ne kala na ba fe ene wa hye wa yese bidie so adanis is minuanum for na mo de bidie mi bi koto bidie wa sisara for wa bitimi tizi o mo sa munya bidie ma ya ne enton ene udu media market ya achefo ne to bidie hey the law is the law mami matesa wo hwe me hwe formation bi a me peke se mami we security for no omo ni fie polytank ya esi ni fie no emu nsuo no omo no okobo ban ewu ni fie a akake o se mami ne ba ma o pure water kura no ana se bottle water anom no ame me kra ma kura wo fie se me favor ayi o de say we mu na nsuo na de ma omo me treat water na de ma me nkra ma no baba mi we omo bon ho ban ewu fie no akake o ete say nsuo na ewo odi asi wie ma ya hye no scum de wa no akobie bi te say pipe no ayede no one. The law is the law. Water is life. We are resetting. Yama mi je mesa start preparing 146 now. Bossman, start preparing 146. Apiayene, I don't know why you are still at post. Start preparing. Munyina mobako. Me kasa me nya kasa wie pe o dey take it or leave it obako. Say the makacho say won to me. Hwe won to me case no ho. International we no. Canada for no mo yite school mo no. E more than e wo Ghana how. Utimi ono mo nchine bottle 10. Wo ye den obeko ti USB ni de maka edu di mampa America science wakwachi we enkosi hwe munya adwuma no ma remonacha ene ena BNI phone ala minua DCP Osman boy adwuma national security investigation na OSP no crocro de John Odisea ni apon and I like the way Professor Jampo neniema no Odisea o na agro ni apon akufa don kofoi wabo mu chaskele se ya ontiwa prosecute obia bia enam se ya onenam se ya na agro na gu me kasa me se de waso no nya den huntie yese kasa tente enya den entoponko listo we mu ne titwi one Ivan mu ene nkofo mo ba no mo pekasa Avanche innocent ene eye listo we no na kosipu alesa de ma frɛ no enje ne de ne bae eno ni me be monologue itimi kosa but oboa we wa dwen se obese ntema obekɔ down yeko eye aksafo aso ye ne ope ose du papa eye omaso ye yakuma akwa bi aboko de you looking good. That's fantastic. Canadian na free maso ye de mai
pacho me fasa kwanya so na machia ahwefo nyina ne atiefo se awi wanya bre na ohwe na afi apomodin de ade ho hia ye se na de bia me ba me ma wonya munti ase na apomodin de hwe apomodin so ye na atumi aboa mo anya ahoɔden soronko amotumi akɔ onwuma ese okoso se ahoɔden ni ho a aya na edin ye se ahoɔden no obetumi anya ama waye de ese wo ye nti de bia me ba me tufo se hwehwe na mo apomodin ho nyina ye ne titiri no se yare a aye kwankro da nipa so na nipa mu sa yare empe ho smosibre efe no osa na osa yare bi a nkofo hu ne se o yare ketua bi ntime de me ba me fo me kwan bi so mitime fa so ehwe ema media mitime manage me pa chaw so hwe na wo ye sa ne man de bu kwakodu na no odin ye eno nti na edi adru won so haksa capsules and mesha adru ye de abro se eno nko an betumi agyew nti osa ne mfidudo bi edi no we nko an betumi agyewa onoma ebe ma ho atumi ato titutumrika na ko hwe haksa capsules and mesha na jin binom na entumi ema ohonto adru no so koto ato ne se ye na ansa na mekoso na machirechire mu ama se na last week me ba mechire mu ka kire o se ene meka complications se osa ne ba na won treat in tema dia etumi kofa ba hawa hodo etumi fira kire ba me sha obo last week ene meka ho asem na ansa na meka ho asem no adru me ka kire o se akwaje ho award na award no menyanyi nkire o ene na me yi award na kire o se adru ya akwaje ho award na eje ho award be 3 months ago match ni mu ho ene yakwaje award kire se Haxa capsules and mesha ene na sisi ya ka best awesome drugs ya ewo system ni sisi ya enti yenhwe pictures na yetwa gu sisi ya no ene yento nyina ase yehu ehwe TV na yehu pictures ne videos na nche bia video no ebaba se ebe yi video na ama yenyina yehu se yakwaji award a kire se na the best awesome medication ewo system sisi ya me no kese ene se wo hwe video ni pictures na etwa gu na wankasa tumi ho enti yenti
Also, being to me how, now they're control. Congratulations to you, Haxa capsules and mixture, best ulcer treatment product of the year. Congratulations. That's right.
Video na etwa gu na any pictures ahodo etwa gu anti otumi ehu se asema American ministro yaje ho award kire se eno na ye the best ulcer medication e system sisi ameno kese aduro bi ani ho aduro ye ni Haxa capsules and mesha enti won se ye na kodi adanse enam se okwa akoto aduro no bi okoye ne herbal shop bi e Ghana ana okwa pharmacy bi e Ghana bi na aduro Haxa capsules and mesha na aduro koto ampa chawo to ne set say set say na obeto no obeto boto no mienu na capsules no wato ba ko de aka ho to be nom no set sei enti wo de no di kan sani a osa no mfie dudu wa di na be nom no enti se wo de na che wo ho at least anya se wotumi to no dodo nom na atumi aboa enti se ebi nso sha asese wo nom because obi wo ho na so start se wo nom aduro na aya na afi ne yare na asen asha asese ekeka no ho kese me pa che wo kire se aduro na asase ye adwuma because ye kuro se ye kan osa asema de ye kan kosia ne se eye kuro na ekuro no eye yefunu mu na beto anasa ebeto won so nketu no mo na se kobasa anasa wo sha asese utriti a ana wo de aduro no kana ya no ebetumi akosoro achen sene ebi wesi na esitie no eno nti na ho behia se wo bekoso anom nti se wanom na se unhu bibiti saa mepacha to aso nom efise ekuro no ena aduro na akoka na asha asese ye adwuma se wo de no nso de ntesa anasa wo de onom ye no afi na wo de no kra de adwo form ampacha koso anom na kopem se ho beto kra na sane amekan no last week no mekan se all say ya ye kan ho asemi se when treating in tema aya complications ahodo bi ho edeba na osa no kra no se ye kan ho asema eden na ya na edeba na de edeba no last week me kan say ye free bi H pylori na H pylori no ye bacterial infection ye nyina ye environment ni dey wo mu no ye hwe ye okoye ndwade bi ahodo hwe ba bi ye ton nnuane akra ha de kra de etan Ghana ha de okọ ba bia no ma ye nkuru akese mu ne nketo mu no aya na ya ho ne de no wo famiye enti wo hwe wansa na esisi enua no so open defecation kofo gija o manan basa yi toto boda gu inso toto ide kwa de basa bo se obi a na wo hwe boda gu inso gatas ahodom na sa wo yesa na o ma mmowa na ye frɛ no H pylori ni nya ho de tran system no na basa na aduane a wodi inso a wonom esa aye contaminated ya wo de wani hu efirese inso na wonom no ana inso na akosa no aduane ana vegetables no de kan ho no unnim sa aye contaminated na wo akodi ena nam so ama mmowa na friend H pylori na betena wo yefunu abetena ni peduma na wo yefunu no stomach lining no ana sa won so nketo no na fe ede o however ena ma kire se yesanso wo certain painkillers bi won so enso wono cha enso tum kofa ba umukos aya amaman no ebo yefunu no ho ban se embe ma wo acid no embe ye bebre na se acid no be ye bebre wo yefunu mu a acid no ye de enyam aduane se be bebre wo yefunu mu a mepa chew aya na de o haw na be de kru ena eba ede sa abra wonum sa painkillers na afi emma umukos na nke wo se produce be na ho de na so because prostaglandin na eno na etimi emma mukos na ya amaman ni ebe bebre no na ho de na so because of say wonum sa painkillers in NSAIDs no I friend painkillers no ne shortcut ametumi de ama se NSAIDs no ebasa na afi ama o prostaglandin no na ho de aso ate na ve wo mukos no so na ho de no so abafam nti ebema acid no ebe bebre o yefunu na afi edikuru na ede bro na ebasa na afi unya reflux ne je se wudidi wi aduane ne ejirigina obo aya na obofuno afi obo anu ankasa ehyehew afi oyefunu na yekapu mframa ejina wiyam ade twa tokra ne se aya na oyefunu ya wo ya na aduane toma wote yawo aduane so ntoma wote yawo ande kra de na ase asem kra wachi bremu se eye wo ya afi aya na wonfe no wo de ne ba so wonfe no wonfe se wo je wo ho anje pache we do ne haxa capsules and mesha na ya kan se ya wie no wunya symptoms ahodo we no ena me say treating intem na kwaje wo haxa capsules and mesha ansana wo de na kodru complicated stage no ba ko ye say aya na emwa no preparation mo ko so preparation na preparation no nyina na kan ko say emwa no bono ntokro me kan say e won so nketo no mo and at the same time stomach lining no mo na say ko basa aya na de ye ni say just a doctor hu ansana yetumi ayo surgery etwetwa won so na esi na mo tumi alivi anya sa ewo mu na awoko so doctor enhu dia ewo mu na awoko say na medical aka ho asema kiro nti hwehwe haxa capsules and mesha ansana wo preparation edu akọ wo mu na so doctor enhu so na ye yawo surgery no so a wa wonim say na surgery ho asem sitie 50-50 yempesa wo die no beduru ho saa no na wa hoɔden so bɛte bra ye wo surgery awie no enti na kwaje wo haxa capsules and mesha afa edu ba bi a omuna aduane ye wo den efrise ye free bi esophageal ulcer ne ye bra ba bi a wo ulcer na akoto ye esophagus no ba bi omuna aduane ye fa akoto ye funu mu no se wo de na akoto ho no ma edu pempen so bi ya na aduane me no edin ye eye wo ya nti omuna aduane a wo te yaw ankasa e wo minum nti adu omuna nti amana aduane samokra na ho aye wo den so obetumi adidi ye afenso so eja we indigestion ntubura wodidi awie no aduane ka yosan ketumi digest ye na aduane no etumi unya nnuane nuru ahodo ese unya na otumi ko eboa mo ni paduane nya ahoden so nko no afi ntumi nkobasa na ama osbia na aduane no yefunu ma yekapu afi sebio manima aya na uja wo fati bebre ana wo yi mframa bebre afei nso ana wo beche wo sa ne ma hodo we nyina me pa chew Haxa capsules and mesha send medical kan and a drum pempen so be a ofimpo a utumi humoja wom enam sa preparation na meka ho asema na sesebio ukwaja nan so kra e humoja nso so ewom nti wanu kokko aduro bia na so still a ohunya ntoye pacho Haxa capsules and mesha eno na ebetumi aboaw efri se wo de no ekoba se ukọ private na humoja ewom ana se ya na ofri na humoja wom enam so timamba ya anemic kese umoja no esote na moja nso so tia ede wo hafoforo ene de bro wani so tumi bro ho ya basa de bi ofri feel weakness e woni padua ne mu nti yes Hack Healthcare yempesa wo de ne be duru sa mpempe so eduru na ni Haxa capsules and mesha eno nkwa no betumi agewo afei bra wo kosa o hawa hudo we nyina mu no mesrawo chine ko hwehwe wo Haxa capsules and mesha eno nkwa no betumi ama wo osa na afiri so osa atamfo no na meka sei ade ba ko ehia meka se ne se manfa ama wa eno no ete se madi wa abro numbers no nti numbers no pekini se sie wa hu se egu ye screen na anim hu se etwagu sa bet ma me bo nso nkyerɛw na watumi attract wo kama numbers ne 0240 238310 0240 238310 anase 0203 822 855 0203 822 855 missing number no so bio 0240 23 83 10 anase 0203 822 855 intime pache tutumrika na korhwe Haxa capsules and mesha ne bi na gibinom na intime ahonto nti se wo aduru fufuro bi a wonom a e bi ate diabetes ana hypertension aduru bi wo na wonom pache mabibi aha na se wo osade a mabibi aha pache obetumi anom Haxa capsules and mesha de hia so be man intervals ya bo monom wo aduru no na wonom Haxa capsules no man intervals be 2 to 3 hours time a obetumi anom a ebeboawo na numbers no so frɛ se na medical bo numbers no frɛ na wo frɛ aduane bi ese wodi de ese wodi bia na ebechiro ni nyina wo ho de ese wo ye bia ebeboa ma ahoden no wanya ne ntam no me pa cha ofra ye de ni nyina ebema ho numbers no 0240 238310 0240 238310 anasa 0203 82285 mpitim pacho se ebia na me no kasa wo kuma ase akode ne heba amen sa takrade for boko Randy Pharmacy ewo Madina omsoboko hon ma akwaje adrebi sa nso so na akwa ne heba shop bia Ghana bia adrebi ya hono ma okwa obenya bi ato anoma ebetumi aboa ya mo anya hoden sonko na me kokora no me di ja ha na nyame admada se ne ye besia ahia no numbers no ya de ahia me je na frɛ na baby a wo bia na delivery and farm tie representative nso so open dodo to aton a offer numbers ya baby a region bia wo bia na de bebro ama aton ama afofra nya hoɔden na nso wanya sika wo de beto aduane adie enti fresesie na nso so kwaje aduro enti obi a wo ama no bia nso so wo tie na wo osa no pa cha ma ne bia ha wo de fra numbers no adanse bia nso so obi di bia bra wa sha se wo no Haxa capsules and mesha no pa cha fra numbers na ma bo ni nyina no 0240 0240 2383 0240 238310 anasa 0203 822 855 0203 822 855 nyame admada sene ye besen ahia bi na de Haxa capsules and mesha na de osa tamfo no mesro kwaje worksa osa tamfo Haxa capsules and mesha na nom na entumi ema honto na wapomuden no emfiri so no osa no emfiri so nko na unya ahoden apomuden so nko na ode betena asase nyame admada sene ye besen ahia na no ade nkomo bye bye.
Now let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same property. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
I hereby declare 1st of July of every year as Ghana's official National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving.
Where are you going with all this?
The president just made 1st July a National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving, and I'm preparing in advance.
I mean, we're all going as a family, but you seem overly excited.
Yes, I am, because this is the day to pray for Ghana's peace, wisdom for our leaders, strength for our youth, and prosperity for every Ghanaian.
So, what if you are not a Christian or a Muslim?
Then you pray to the God you believe in.
The theme is Reflect, Reset and Renew for National Prosperity. Venue for Christian service is the forecourt of the State House at 8 a.m, followed by the Muslim service at the National Mosque Kanda at 12:30 p.m. These services will also be held simultaneously in all regions across the country.
Hajia, have you heard the news?
1st July, National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. We are represented.
Missy Minanano, a group passa, every bravo, Tibedo Imlenu.
As for me, I take very good care of my grandkids. Ye dear grow, na yes, sir. A room maybe crana, me bano timide, or maybe gumi so weekend. Hey, mumle, mimre. I don't think I'm a catcher, say, Yano, Medi, garlic capsules. Posun, a basis so come. As I stand here, my doctor said my whole system has improved very well. Medi, garlic capsules. Yes, Medi, garlic capsules.
Medimosis garlic capsules. Boa mamoja dini paduane mu efrusani ye na esiesie oba ne barima mahona wodin. Ubenya edroyi bi ato omanyi mu pharmacy store frey wo 050-349-4885. Edroyi enya mamofra enye ndi mfie dumienu. Apemfo ene emma emanofo. Medimosis hunni how FDA ajidwe di nkratu yi atum.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Welcome back from the commercial break, live on TVS YZ and also on Power 97.9 FM and all our affiliate stations across the country. Yakota Kradia Sharp 106.9 FM is Yama Elembele West and 100.3 FM Northern Regional Capital Tamale. Kesmi 107.1 FM Bowling in the Savannah region. We are live on Nkiligi FM, WFM Ewawa Boko Source 100.1 FM, Pussy Gawing Pansampa Wendy FM, Zeps FM or Zebila. Sandi Yako Bono region 90.9 FM and so Consumer FM on Crank Quanta. Our regional capital goes here in Nananum 92.5 FM station with Ambition Aduna FM. So a war a year Sound Korean Central Regional Capital Dom Sounds a Cape Coast Kotokraba Market Rich FM and so a war a year Asin Fusu Vota Regional Capital Ho a Global 105.1 FM. So and Multi region you want 79.7 FM a Wokete Krache Yenianuma a war a year Boom FM Jasikan Omosimo Fire Live Sound so and KFM Ewo Pasa land near GFM Radio ne Fire Life Radio United States of America 68 FM Omosu Kremo Ewo Virginia Facebook Live Power 979 TV SYZ Ghana Samsung on YouTube SYZ Broadcasting and website www.mysyzonline.com and egu ho na and some of the national chairman of the NDC Onmonya for Johnson Esinunkedo say the entire leadership of the Electoral Commission must go. They are not fit for purpose. Mama beja for akwaba ene enyumre ni na two topics in some Onmonya for Johnson Esinunkedo dia atwja and me better earlier on I said the same thing. That means say BBC could be bosses here. Now I think say nkomo video ho nti mame fan set tone na afi no listo enemy Ivan and Shasi mame yankoi just
we are having a wrong election management body in place, and so that is a subject of reset in future.
Resetting the EC.
Sure.
What does that mean?
It means that bringing it back into an institution that is fit for purpose. The way it is existing now, it's not fit for purpose, because you cannot have, with all the laws that we have, you cannot still be having an election that will go into a stalemate. There is no anticipation of any stalemate in elections in any of our laws, unless people don't want to do their work well. And so it's a clear case of negligence or inability to perform its functions. So it's a good reason why the Electoral Commission needs to be reset. And that is not the only issue. Remember, 4 years ago, there was the issue of SAL. A whole constituency went unrepresented for 4 years. And then, so when this commission, as presently constituted, took over the reins of the Electoral Commission, they have never done an election that is satisfactory. These two major elections, the first one constituency went unrepresented for 4 years, and then their second election is this one. And then with the by-elections, Ayawaso West, Wogon, everything has been removed. So there is overwhelming evidence that this commission is not fit for purpose. And if any serious country will want to maintain this type of electoral commission, then I don't know what the country is about.
So there will be a change at the EC leadership?
There has to be a change.
Fantastic. So, say, Mitras, you know, I catch you say, Angels, and the Kama, Messegana, Jane Mensa, Bossman, and Yapiaji, Ombako. My mamma, Pejafaka, Listo. And I be Abako, dear. I'm offended, I say.
I say, Abai Papa.
Abai Papa Bampa.
Abai Papa Bana.
Fantastic.
Your Mahaman Timmy, Mayam Penny, Wabra, Sebi. Yahubetiti
Debbie
nti Nyankopon begu so
nyame donema
na wama yatamfo nso enimegu ase na sene ehia Misrimfo afrase ne ehia omu biem na enimgu ase no fakese na no ebekwa ama omu a na omu peye nseye
na so anyi
apemseyefo no Mwajina tuyo nyina.
Onyame do na to yi free or highly
free. Yes. Ti.
And you have a quatornium.
And a metronum. Metronum.
Dear Mary, no, it ni soon. Semi or how ma metronum. Listen, we're Tonyum.
And you mean the
Cabernet.
Monsieur, when you're Honto. Say, and also the music is the music. The music
is the law.
Yes, just as the law is the law. The music is the music.
That's the one. Aban, maybe I will go there. Yeah, it will be you test your baby, dear.
Yeah,
after I
think they shy.
That's the original answer.
Some mission.
It is well. It is well. You want to say?
Oh, I think that we
will say change Biaba.
Oh, definitely. Ghana there, if you really want to be honest, I'm not sure say we bet me a doubt to say there has been change, not just ordinary change, but a significant change. Yes, I will share the economic front. It's quite clear.
Fantastic.
And some institutional will be a cost. Clearly, nothing say we are only hoping say Nyama Betimi sustain it trigger down to the ordinary person.
Iran and Israel for changing.
Yes.
And China and America forces Casem as a sign.
I say win their way. So win their way. Now we focus. Some of these distractions in a bar. Ebe kan okra na entimin take away near my wire off the table.
Fantastic.
In the past you no ma umbesu Ukraine, Russia, I don't have to even countries no more border Ukraine, Russia, but we're not even complaining.
Fantastic.
But I think I missed this particular tension between Israel and Ukraine. Fuel still drop it down. You understand? That clearly shows there are your friends saying safe hands in place are just trying to do things that are benefiting Ghanaians. Early days yet, but I'm hopeful say the way man and near Maase
but I'm so I reflect in the system.
Oh yes, because
various markets now.
So first now you talk cement, I think 135 and 140.
That's about 90.
Now about 90 yeah, obviously no.
Iron was 9,600.
Exactly.
About 8,000.
Exactly. And then dollar no depreciating as for sa nearma when a Ghana focus on my brother.
Now corporate so ko nearma bafo.
Kakra. And we are even expecting say come more because if 6 months in Pondia, I'm hopeful say 1 year, 1 way. Yeah, so
inflation also drop.
So Mugabe the na encourage we no be tan ban. We wanted policies and programs of government in ever benefit people or more mind.
But now would you say within 6 months and you bet him as a
no, because I think that Nema are contentem because I want steady currency said Nema ACT about drop a crown such a significant drop.
So what is the secret?
I think that some decisions are buying a taking. For instance, the last time I make about something like gold board, he say mopping up all the
because
gold.
He live in your better so still
yes, now your friend is a revenue now, but because dollar no near na cofa a much in our buy. And see, and that's a witty forest in the back room. Obviously, the pressure on the dollar no so better. What I say, and again, a bar form no, a car no mine did not so significant dressing drop it because our external debt, was in dollars. You understand? So these are some of the things that and once a new government takes over and the confidence return it back to the economics front, investors will come back with their money and a whole lot of stuff, hoping say the policies of the government benefit. And John Mahama started and the first this economic dialogue forum our investors. So we are investors now were doubt about the state of the economy. That particular dialogue now, no will give you that particular hope. Enti udu sikabeba. I think that yes, I man kakran na akikabo maina yejina babi yejina. We are just hoping say be extend to other places. Say ya ahochira over the years ya form no. So betina Ghana ni enya ahotoso say indeed the government is really working.
But also Avanche Innocent live on TVS YZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. Live Kid Capsules. S Natural Mineral Water. Adom Savvy General Construction. Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Victory Garlic Mixture. Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center. Safari Valley Eco Resort. Hebron Hills International School. Omada Romane Techra. Yedi Jumedi Ebo. Listen, but me say every ho na yen share sema General Mosquito National Chairman Edia to Jaffa Electoral Commission topics in no any a year press conference and suspended Chief Justice or maybe a year tokunu or that useless press conference no the buy no they useless a waste of our time and years. Yes and years me 4 minutes when I'm jai was nonsense I mean the law
is the law.
Fantastic.
And is the law.
Let's get to serious business. More fire.
Kwa mama fa kunya we so na menchie tiefo ni adofo ni atamfo a omagibre ehwe yen enawie ewie nwumre na memmo abaso ni adwumaso awoye. As usual, Minia Ivan there. I mean, he has always caught my eye, and I believe that with time, no, very intelligent.
What to Quabranca there?
Yeah, Mate Quabranca.
Commander, what in
I Bobiansa, Martinenka, or no, so the law is the law.
Quabranca is the law.
The law is the law.
Say the weekend, or maybe I don't go.
I don't go there. Say, Quabrano, Adanko now wins in an sword, you know. Say, Adanko, my sword.
Adanko,
my sword.
The law
is the law. Quabrano, the law is the law when the law is the law.
Thank you.
Nti kwabra de ne de watwum kakra
kajagum yama inkunkum
nti Mugabe we de em say mame fa konya we so na mema omampani ene na pamfo nyina moni ha se ne adwumayefo be ya no mo ye no se osompa de wo de ma wo manfo a em say enya de a mo manfo no omo emmo empaye ma obi anu okos e friend say obi anu okonsuogu ne tamfo ankrem na obia soso ni wa okonshira oshira ni bisuefo
very true
nti me bom abaso ni adwumaso moye na mitie owura esedun ketia asem no na asem a ye mu bi no ya na ye hede ni abotre isanse ye ni soja sem no ya na eduru ba bia na edidi yeti ohun ti no yani epibibia jasu na de tiere se emperifo so se enframa de huhu pade a onya na obeka ya oma mperi ko for de o ewe a ebe no kan ma ne yesere se ensuonyunu ene fa nipa nya ensuhie enti wo hwɛ John ni sune ne ban a enye huhu ena ode ye bibia na order from the boko ensusu no baby we ask no he has delivered and it's not about any vindictiveness or whatever. I mean, he is just abiding by the dictates of the constitution and the law. Intino me fa sem free baby a ore se edun ketia e de na sem ni betu dwana. Mugabe, every state institution every citizen of Ghana by law established no answerable to the people of Ghana. Enti se wo hwe omo background from there ora eni yeboa krama the commission no anya accountable to the people of this country no krampo na from that background on kwano I will see a timid so near Cassette and conform answerable to the people of this country, cannot be in the helm of affairs. Look, we have square pegs in round holes. Square pegs in round hole, no. Actually, say, Nipa only mejuma and Yamane Juma oye. It's say, Obi eti abontin na wa ye your friend is saying Abuduaba, why you more Abuduaba, and no twitwitwa homa. They said the Kuliko. Ohwe kwadwantwi bia na Tom and Jerry aware no unse koriko bia na omo de na gina ho aso omo twetwetwe na obububu ne pa no sa na Akufo Addo de aye Jemensa asare boss man sani tete ne srebo no srebo kwaku no ne omo wo electoral commission apiahene no ohun se wo hwe ya democracy the fare by na eni kwan se sankofo we mu omo wo ho enti musume twanitia e wo ho na matoa so eye anti araba de ne so
kama Ivan enko
nti emremu no
yisi ho kakra
say yes ye pay electoral commission say na de bia meka no every word has a meaning. As we speak now, we don't have an electoral commission. We have something that looks like electoral commission, and we say we see, and to the extent say Oma Sal etna infie na ya omuni MP dia no ntimi nye
but the woman is very wicked,
mesre
very wicked.
Bia was here first
akoma bia no
ekwa bia was here first na omo ana omo pese omo destroy democracy no ye betu omo asen ya twe omo so mra kwan mu bibia ye illegality no me mfa so emra mu ye fa omo enkons ye frame nsan emra nanim na omo nyira emra nanim na ye ntu omo nsan na kitase hye pro ye dream kankan bia akoso in the last 7 or so years omo aba in the helm of affairs in bia no ye hwehwem na ye making sure say oman ni sika bia akwakodu omo nsem no ye nsabeka so we the way aniku ni hotel no speed no mo di si hotel na hu be hia say ye be hwehwem because Charles Mensah the last time I check here no onya adwuma
listen mama quick one on nsema national chairman Johnson said don't get the to nothing you move straight to annual press conference so suspending chief justice.
Okay, Mugabe, I think so I'm mention what you for Thursday class na menka say so evening class
where Thursday evening class
yes so wo he your friend saying the electoral commission ne jumadi omodi in the past. The scars are quite clear, are visible, Ghana can never forget. But here, Nema at play in this country presently now, it looks as if the focus is not on it. But no indemnify the electoral commission from the criminal engagement in the lack of trust Ghana for the institution. My catcher said, you will Krobi and Kayetimi put two decent men with proper conviction in place. Situation like this, you will not wait. Say obi embe petition anase we enka Jane Sam boss manasare yese yefra kwabi tete hwan enka yeto abani we ya na nkomo turning in omo resignation and komu nyina call because the period now mo ten so as electoral commissioners all that they did they say they destroyed the reputation of the institution called the Electoral Commission. Ordinary Ghanaian any trust, confidence, any hope we are our institution, and I think that the track record are quite obvious. But it's unfortunate say Nipana very often we put them in leadership position, in sensitive position like this, most of them lack integrity, they lack candor, and they think that they are service because somebody put them there. So the whole agenda they say we are servicing the person or the bar and I say all the position and singing hallelujah choruses. All that they do they say a bit me guarantee that particular way. Because the men san near my why you kruma and Ghana for na say be near be and I said, I'm telling you, Zenka, before 2024 elections, in Kejato Okroma saying, because there were a series of senseless decisions upon senseless decisions that these people were taking. I threatened the foundations of our democracy. In the sub-region, there are countries that the scars of electoral misunderstanding are quite clear. Obeko Sudan, Obeko Hwai, Nayate, Rabo Hwai, because of electoral misunderstanding, or they couldn't handle it. But fortunately, we were able to handle. Electoral Commission at some point in time became so belligerent to the stand there. Actors and stakeholders in the elections, they were not ready to listen to anybody. They were running the institutions at the behest of their personal twisted, whether emotions or whatever that they wanted to do. So at the end of the day, they lost touch with the actors and they had to go into this particular election. And the election, we sat down in this country and never call election. Now a constituency Atena Kroma for almost 4 good years with data representation. That was a criminal, an engagement. As an expect to say, and something could have been done to salvage the situation because constitution guarantee everybody in this country to have a representation in parliament at any point in time. Mugabe, this woman said that Sunday, the Monday I kwakoto abano, and or issue statement cut a significant part of voter region from that particular way, and she denied them representation. Yet to now we were hoping Senka certain a mitigatory effort will be advanced to ensure that the situation. She never, because Onimsaya Koto Abana NDC was going to win and they will have upper hand in parliament. This woman sat down and we couldn't do anything about it. And I didn't know one at the core. You go into nano elections in a bit of Yablukumasema walking. Almost a pink seat or moon. A pink seat, you know. The command and papa no command. So if the electoral commission cannot assess pink sheet, it means that you are incompetent. You don't qualify to be there. Exactly. And the person who appointed that particular person is also incompetent. And now Yantia, America. So we follow Trump, the attempted assassination on his life, you know. They pinned it on the Secret Service. Mamena, the head of Secret Service, and she was nowhere near the place, but she was sacked. Why? Because the ultimate way, stop with her. So the head of the Secret Service in America, because of Trump's attempted assassination, was booted out. You understand? So that is how people take ultimate responsibility. These jokers have been sitting in office, masquerading, walking around upon all the embarrassment that they brought into this country. They still call themselves commissioners in this country. I think it's quite pathetic. And Jemensa, I'm telling her, or no petition, a good bag, no. I'm telling you, because no quite any day easy chain your friends easy because criminal activities on my no chroma boss master and some of being and waka certain post in name of my no chroma no it will be very easy but I think say and kayanko the UK way Prime Minister na hena name nkoya no say resign na no yantiana Canada Prime Minister resign but so why can't they do the same thing? Honestly, you resign and go, you understand? But you say but these jokers will hang on to power until we sack them, and for me I am concerned about the integrity of the judiciary and the law. And, it's the law.
Let me see why. Now for young Kotoko ho. My members like I say from my safari very eco resort to Madame Macamote actually and I did media airbrail about wildlife experience or more number one for nature as you doing in the eastern region Okre constituency. We do when you papa now as you honor environment in a very, very conducive. Almost several local and continental dishes, swimming pool, gym, hotel, one say yes. Environment where you come up papa kone kwaji any family no from 0596914394 0596914394 fra Safari Valley Eco Resort omo ebejo so Mary Moses Clinic and Eba Center omo na de medical capsules dey abedwa so pebi na bo asede bia moja no ebetime di ni pedua no sani ye blood circulation sanso na bo asese nipa no ebusi immune system no e ma ni pedua ni gina na so brane wo ye bema prostate na tete wo sexual weakness bema de opesa ho ye din a ye be fra wo eye nanapuku Efro nanapuku de achese ho ade ye fra Mugabe na achese ho ade ye fra Ivan na achese ho ade and one say sexual weakness emfa ho feature male and female infertility, hypertension, diabetes, sciatica, typhoid fever, malaria, stroke, any dental problems in ano fani na Kodan Medimosis Clinic and Eba Center a dental barrier near war any police station in the Jimshwe anymore or AESL building no inside the Ghana Highway Authority yard or Crab Ministries a Kojo any school for the deaf in the Jimshwe anymore Komase I nema kokobenso yo free and 0244 06844 0244 06844 or fry ebejo so Victory Garlic Mesa from Dr. Mwako wote Dr. Nka ene ewie wunye bina oboboya boye papa obi wontumi ni di wonu mato bro ni beka se loss of appetite pe Victory ni bina bobo ni ntumi emu aboa mamoje timi di ni pedua ni mafusa ni ye obi ho na nteka kra bia no abre no wote so wose anansi acheme wunye Victory ni bia ebesese kama oba ko mfichira no ayase bo dwedwe menstrual pains wunye Victory ni bino no ma ebeboa mani nyina eto atwa obi wontumi ni di wonu mato pe bi nanom ebetumi wonya 12 years and above obetimi annom Victory Garlic Mesa ni bi wono yo pemfo amennom o ma bofra nufusu nso amennom nemom uyo bi a all sanso a didiye ansan wanom wura pharmacy shop herbal shop bia obenya biato for Dr. Mwako 0201293280 0201293280 or 0242545633 0242545633 or fire bejoso Power Specialist Eba Hospital. hepatitis A, B, C, D, and I yini benetete where fatty liver, sciatica, prostate na how many a bema, no penny baby na teach my ulcer, and a components minimum, a fibroid, Nina for nature power specialist about hospital, Yamami Aduya, Obebuau, Kumasi, Ofeya, Silik, Bosuncho Quantempo, and so, yeah, war a putuja, Quanasua, Quantanasi Quanaso. You just bo felicitation, it didn't share anymore. The Ankahansu, you are Quabena, Pukwasi, Sebe Quantempo, so Takradi Wanaje, Estate Beanaje, MA Primary School. No, Fema Mia do Yana and Chuchunkumai on 0244544422, 0244544422. Adon Survey and General Construction. So pass Asiato. Ewo dudua opa sasiato ewa denta ene patemu mefani nyina akwadan Adom Survey and General Construction omona be mo asase amanso bie ni so ato hwe o machira kwan ewo dudua odumase omo ben Christian High School International adenta so be hu omo ewo ho no mo office no ewo dudua odumase behind Christian High School International na di omu yeni eba land surveying, engineering surveying, architectural designs, general construction omo ye number 1, they are second to none. Furniture maso no mutumi wow no mo chire say wo pasase wo dodo wa picking kran 70 by 100 plot no 50,000 Ghana cedis en kan is kan 500 million no mo twa e the amount ne mo pese wo tua no within 6 months ya 55,000 en kan is kan 550 million ne achichem no twetwa ne kakra 6 months waje on krata wa hase esiwudan wo pese wo tua no within 1 year and we said be more 60,000 wo twetwa ne kakra wonya wo babiao and once one Adom Survey and General Construction for Betchunkomo. Call them on 055-439-7831, 055-439-7831 or 020-378 8842 020-378-8842. WhatsApp number is 055-439-7831 055-439-7831 offer Oma Omo Ebejoso Adom Survey and General Construction, making your dreams come to reality. Esra twa menra water nso ni bebraba brahane beji bi to na konnom se de bibia betumi akonkan de ma oda begu abebre mu betum franko ho Mr. Robert 0596273546 oba on sabe kan duru bi a wope bia lift kit capsules e de abedwa so from Mugabe Maase clinic na so ye one de lift kit capsules no e de abedwa so e boa ma digestion timi take place kama enhance eye metabolism and the sign boa obi a wo konfigire a wo bre san watumi ayi wonan ni nyina no agana bia no ebetimi ya metimi akoso kama sisi yefunu ma bibia ko esanboa supporto eye liver no function no na bibia nso timi koso pharmacy shop herbal shop bibia be ready obenya biato 0244068447 0244068447 Hebron Hills International School say excel and shine furniture media of the Nsawam Road omoba media Presbyterian eye church no na odo say excel and shine no oba no wanya 3 months ekosi 5 years Montessori entity ne de mano sanso na eja obano opese de nko eye lower primary upper primary akwanya ewo ho admission go so ekoso the month of September no mo start new academic year no mo start eye GHS eye admission tutu mirika no kope kwanya ma obane ene sansa kwanya no wan kwentema enya de obenya space e de ama obano jume kwanya na da ro matachiri ne de jume de ebe oba bia yeduru no abonnunum apa ho sema aduonu enan dia kan nyina eye tokunu time liso wana na kusibuko
yo kwayo
bonija mame na bonija nso a bonete said ye kusie ya wasi ehini anaso waden eno je se o de prepare ne mesoa na o de bom na o bone papa ubona nu ntia nu wasi watu ehini no sa ni watu se mame no ehini no wata akiri ntie mojim yanko
yo dedi kan mame araba isaba tokunu de e wo se obi ehun ni se ne flyer or the babontin say or they call a press conference no or impersonate ye say or your chief justice wabra boni FBB adjective a chere senior bibitie what you say enti say o chere focus you say adjectives qualify nouns obian ka say chief justice no sebi oni ebida na oye chief justice kopim say ye bo ne san ye say oko Church of Pentecost na okoye eniamon ho a asoro no bo san ye nka say wonye member biem memum udibia ekura wo a ema wo ye member no ye bo san a ye bodi bia ne so san kopim say ye be hwehwe wo nsemu ana say adobre beba ana ebindie beba enti so wo hwe ne statement na ne flyer na wo de beto abonten no a e chese maame no wo obi a wo ye niamon mu de emra no ese because wo de fani say udi bem wo de fani sa say wo adwunu mu no because wo adwunu mu no de obi ani wono mu a odi asem wo no ani tirimu a odi fo this nipa kakra bi a omo ankasa wo mahunim ne ye ena omtimi ka say oh ade we de mehu se ma anye ne ye sa nipa no mo no so wi ase etu de fa ne se wo to konu kura wa adwene mu no udi bem ena ya tu wasen kopim se tu na ya tu wasen no aban ebe famra kwan so reinstate perish my thoughts anyway perish my thoughts kopim se aban ebe ka say oh to me tu say you know matwe sign no you cannot hold the title chief justice we are suspended until further notice enti me who ne flyer na the number bontin chief justice speaks chief justice addresses the nation afekwa the person here to say state of the nation enti me anu no me who flyer no and I'm throw to me Facebook say rather no I was so say suspended chief justice speaks and yeah and go be any ni asem enti anu kwampo no say say you dey no family akwan so wa impersonate the office and the position of a chief justice and no Emma ni dedi pefe say onye nipa sebi obumra famra nya neka obumra enye sebi nipa sebio jinjan bi no less a person say omampani mu a ena odi ne sahye krata se ka kire wo say kofie na ya hwehwe wo nsemu asa lekin krata na se ebubo wa ya de huntansa asoa wo lekin krata na enti sas de na oye no the first offense a odi betu bedwam impersonation a criminal act and even for a very lawless chief suspended chief justice I imagine no or outgoing to have misbehaved like this no I was say eno kra no omunya enyina so na omde twena so eno ye 1 2 Mugabe eyana sometimes yeso so sebi enipa binum so wo man mu ema omo adwene mu no omo ye te se de omo no esoten oman ne mra untouchable enti no sa wo hwe a efri mampani akufo do apen so eba no na nipa binum adwene ye omo se enye rule of law biem na a rule of man na rule of man bia no ema nipa na adwene ye ne se okuratu ni bi sa tumi no eso ten tumi na ebi a emra no de ama no ana se de omanfo ekura Mugabe ya 1992 constitution no ade a mehu ye ne se omo ye the framers of the constitution no omo kuchira ade bi a ye friend the preamble of the constitution enti so wo hwe preamble of the constitution na o kire se power no tumi na eyo manfo eye tumi no o say da bia wo o man na bra bomu no ekura manfo yanka se ekura obi enti o mampani ekura mpa sebi odi ye so ane sebi obetimi akasa Ghana nyina no kafi obi ankoda nsia no onu mpo kura mpo no ye say ansa no obetimi ateki sa tumi no ana se obetimi aye bibi no agis wakomra hye bedwam etu hwe ya time COVID-19 ba ye no Akufo do ye say wo a wo de wo pɛ ebekwa akogina baabi wo ka se wo hye no smask ana so ebekwa akopirichi ma ne cheche asofo bi kwa kugu mu kai wonim se ekọ emrani mu a emrani be kire se o mampani ni sa atumi no enu nti na mampani krampo no or member of parliament ya ene me no ka se owura John Mahama owo mrase bedwani a oye ono John Mahama his excellency ni isi anamu wo mrase bedwam enti president impo krampo no ono na owo tumi a sebi o manfo krade ato abama no ono ntimi nyina bedwam enka se me mampani no mesisei obi ankoda by force ontimi yise wo dia famra kwan so na wo hwe mami tokoni ni sune ne ban a no wonder say
ene ne
ne papa ne Eja Kofi Abraham no wonder on titiba nani atra nani ton
muade
so we share from the behavior time no chief justice no na ye bo Owura Mohammed din se on sorry mekasa na we hwe de ewu a osobere na no esikiri nani fi nani pochiri nani bi e de hwe Owura Mohammed ni nyam a se bi ebi ni fie we hwe sa behavior no misbehavior na on sem fata obi a se bi owo su ne banya ye didi chief justice no Mugabe obi say and was there a need for it? The question is, Mugabe, to what end? Press conference here no obey. When you own, I catch you say MPP lawyer bienua unimumra.
Judge.
They only know the judge. And until now say MPP for so musu tokonu be free oye ni ebechi nyina yakogu.
Minority for mo two tia.
Maami we on fa mra nya adwuma. Na senko bi a ode mra ya adwuma Mugabe amra no constitution na kan yo enye sebi any other law a yebetimi aka so we de emra kunni ni kura etia se obusa lawyer bia wo Ghana ha ye say process ni kura mpo a ye de eyi chief justice adi no enya de a ewo se emu bia no ebebeda bedwam enti petitioners me sending you now much petitions no normally like I normally do and come back to me leaky petition na my public no but o man leaky petition na ma e ko du man pani ho o man pani leaky petition no e ma o de command council of state o man leaky petition no ko pem say mami tokonu na ono krampo na asem fa ne ho no o tro command man pani say o man pani entimi ma say wo se the petition bi aba a efa me hu wabra mi na se bi asem efa me hu no o ma me copy no man pani so no na waye na adwe wasi na adwene mu pi se me fa mraw na etire bi ekoliki a wa be ka se me mom kra na maliki no kopim se o man pani di petitions no ebi ma mi tokonu no Mugabe ni ebetan studio ha ni e sufre copies of the petition meboa me kwa na me ni se emremu no eni kwan se omu e di petition ni betu bedwam ama me be ka no studio ha se ye be se so omu me hu copies no ni enkenkan ama ora fali so fosu kwa achi be gina public ka kire ye nyina ye se enya dia o betimi dia ma public ni because emra kunni ne se e wo se eye shaded in secrecy kopim se ma me no beko meboa ya di petition ni kopini mama me no ade atia na bi before a press conference oh we assemble na wom ada na odi ni kura tu kwan e na ade be na na fa no ma kidra ba bi
samfun
na mu ke kan se hu a Mugabe
ya ka fon kan
e ho na me ka kire Ghana for say me ka kire mo say ma me wei onye chief justice bia o chief injustice oye wo bia oye MPP for women organizer ye na court na adwuma bia wo ye bia ya pipia adwuma nya o man adwuma
enam ne ye enti
ne ye ni su ne ban enti because kopem se John Mahama no mo de petition ni copy se mama me no na ni abonten John Mahama mo de copy se ma no na MPP fa copy no and on the be na public and on the press conference me boa mo kase me boa enti se wo hwe sa anioma o ye na wo hwe de no a o da na di na o ye up to something
tell no de o ye na contempt na
e contemptuous just that the committee doesn't have any power to draw her before the committee to punish her for that offense, even though Entino me say committee no omonfa no te say de sebi abrewa we inframa bone wo ne nana no mani na omonye omadwuma isan say adwuma na omo ye dia ma omo no na ye oman adwuma de tokonu ya ne de ete say de sebi aboa tafre bi nam osunu bi ataaso resign resign na akufo do cry afam no baby ojina sese baby akufo do cry afam emra no de na ka baby ojina sese obetima resign na oberita baby ojina no cry no or resign cry enye yie na bedi na asem no se ne sefata ena sebi se utie press conference na wo ye na Mugabe na medwin se oba be gina mra bi so aka se o mampani afom mra bi ana se bia council of state for afom mra bi ana committee ni members no kra po afom mra bi motata no and someone what can who be rather some say the ababa bi anim na say bi anim kan say bi nti a wo say na ebi nu kro mo phone tokonu na we afi say wo grandpa we chief justice no na wo ka che say ye ba quarter me na me civilian no say me wo dreadlocks grandpa e wo say me kata so by force e wo say me shoot wo na ato atare ma me we nu nyamu da ye wo Ghana ha na wo na be che de ye nye asomafo say o phone adaya ya threaten me obi a wo what me aye lawyer o papa e kwai of so a oye ya pam ni free kofodia se tech crampo no cram nka ho asem ne another day winti o papa ya pam no see ya so akofa ne ma bi ama e ho sansam de so nka no na de o say me ka tell e kwai papa no fa so a o twa school fees what ma say yan ka ho asem na wo ba be ka che say ya threaten to wo ko school wo nim say ya threaten wa wo ba bi e wo so de wa asem ko na wo be ka threaten Ghana ha. Do you know how you have used the weaponized court now to threaten the lives of many? Do you know how you have made Ghanaians under your torture? No? Do you know how you have made us feel? Who would say send you be threatening lives? Do you know how you are threatening our lives as a judge? When you are sitting in the comfort of your court, dictating the pace of all the to the extent say maybe Mugabe. Now we are Ghanaian. Ya kasa kokota na akwese ya budia okay etino sanyo na obegina bedwam kekane nyoma no odi mesi no odi medi usie no odi ye edi adane nsem nkwanta obi no ye owo sympathy bia matokonu onko me no hu eya na ensemi bi wo ho amramu no ntino ntimi nka ne yie eni se we no nka committee bia hu hia e wo se nkomu woni nkunsa no mo woni nkonsa na ba bi obekwa akoto no so no prapra ni hu wie na wati kokoni wa no hu fia na ko odi asu anyansa ye te Ghana ha hwede na afa no market ne woye ena awia tete odi asema be down 2 o'clock wa ye panel 3 o'clock na judgment aba me the LGBT asema be to anim asema na akafa ho ye gigi yi na fi Ghana ha minority caucus led by Ogude Tonum wo mo fa asema nkoda court omu di asem no odru MPP fa asem so bia ene ohu hare etimi de mesre se sebi committee ni nkoso anya na adwuma okay Ghana for yo so ya de nkire be koso a kire obi ani wonu ma sebi obehu tokonu humobo wa hu ye mobo wa bra na ehia no wa hu ye mobo time ani tu asem aba wan ka bia moayen osori alo akogina pulpit anim no aso oprechi no sankofo wo nyina so be Christopher ntina na nse na ja asori ko no eti mesre obia ntre na adwen fa ho se tokonu no na adwen ye ne se law ne nya law bi na fa emotions a onkoso no no emotional drama ye be koso ahwe me kwa no na me data asa me koto obi ehwe ni nyina me hu concept party ano oye onkoso ano onye concert no committee ni nya na adwuma opa mani si committee na nim committee no be tro se wa ama absenteeism and fire ho wan ko obia hu say how can you think say Ghana for betina ho I'm a wounded lioness like you as ababaji wadwa na wo baba ichen de wo pe we have had a new chief justice
It's
acting.
Very well. And say,
Kopim say, Chief Justice here, obey the Juma, every no, Ghana for Tanachi. Medasi, Pafu Boni, listen, no, ye, Munkoswara Mumma, Medasi, and some Dawson, Evans, send some Ebacope, and yes, as and Petty. Evan, maybe say, my menaces. Move on for you to Sumami. Abrana, okay, the law is the law, no, and a yen radio. Production team wait my favor, na more to me, I into way and radio, way your position, Abrana or Power Kufado, a breast into one with the difference, you know, Mude Mummy and Tier 2. The law, it on Casan was smiling, but no one was in the Nimuno. I had to say, okay, Yanis, but listen, Minu, we are 2 minutes behind the The law is the law, and I'm
no matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
And radio, any difference, you know. Bono Kakrama, my wife,
Two lodge facility that the hearings are being conducted in.
CIA, thank you. Without into Muya Jumani say Mummy Ivan. Yanko.
The kind I mentioned with Dr. Mia Holy Family Hospital of your program.
Oh, touch my right.
Fantastic. Medical director. Okay. And Raminya Quenya share press conference in a Kakrabat. Mantimia share because I was very embarrassed and very ashamed looking at Nema na Air Koso. But what share the Air Koso, you could see a visibly shattered woman. Or you broken and clutching at straws. And some now all cannot be anywhere sabi ubetimi nyansa biya. Oh. And for her as a Chief Justice, I'm for well respect for her and as a for no. They were all acting on a grown woman acting on children's wisdom.
Oh, Ivan.
So be a when but wisdom now all pretty no. I am cry wisdom. I am cry wisdom so there because Neman na Augusta no ye no. I said why suppose no ho set Ghana for tetanus na basa. Mugabe. And what she did yesterday no or no ankasa sealing the faith she's done. And I am saying that she cannot continue to be Chief Justice. Maybe the reason why. Say oh Neman na many ye na rana. Petition na the Constitution says must be heard in camera. And the actors in it no any right to bring it to public. The Constitution says the whole proceedings must be heard in camera. The Chief Justice of the Republic of this country, and the administrative head of the judiciary, it is her job to safeguard the integrity of the judiciary. She's privy to this constitutional provision, but decided, say, a document that is supposed to be a private document and the Constitution explicitly says, say, must be heard in camera, no, or time petitioned by TV so and ra. Eba bekika munsem de chere Ghana for doing that, you know, your position as a Chief Justice become untenable. Asabra meka no enti committee no proceedings na ekoso no se maame no di bem kura na se osan ba we can drag her to court for this massive constitutional breach for her to be removed because adia oya and na meka say because she's emotionally your friend saying driven, you know, and she's acting on children's wisdom, no. Onye who say what she did yesterday, you know, or no ankasa signed the fate. The last nail to the coffin, you know, or the bomenra. Because what she did yesterday, you know, was a flagrant abuse of the constitutional provision. The destiny must be heard in a way. And again, Mugabe. And some now original man na okikano, you could see conspiracy theories because nothing she said that are grounded in law because law no you ever say we nim nyansa pa ko fa legon regu yam still we nim nyansa say we nim nyansa pa legon dynasty or pa ko fa no fa tweti an pa we e ma hu nyansa o se book o se sajimi because in some now all kano the poverty of intellect logic any reason na you begin to ask yourself Mami when no a Chief Justice because in some now can be hot transfer for instance or say Edu's lodge modern corner intimidating who cares about your personal emotions Who cares about your personal emotions? You know, your friend say Edus Roger. You are talking about somebody. You are being accused, and the constitutional process has been set in motion. You don't determine where that particular proceeding should happen.
Whether be
a state, you know, and they choose you. And at the end of the day, where they choose, you know, has nothing to do with Edus Roger now will be too. What kind of nonsense is this? But because she's arrogant, you know, she doesn't see say Nemana or you know, good anymore. What's it?
Arrogant.
Oh, very arrogant, very despicable, filthy, arrogant character. And your friends say because and yes, sir, and can you know how can you do this? Because again, processing now air cost, you know, it's emotion. You are part of the process. You've not disconnected yourself from the process. Young judges now she's casting some kind of a spin on the judges, especially Justice Ponamine, because the reason is Daniel Ford no de asema ba
Supreme Court answer na mama ebe wo.
Wodati
2016 no ote
o sepona man na ote a case no so no adi asem ama Daniel Ford pen ama Daniel Ford adibem. Justice Asiedu na anu issue no mo de court no wadibi enti no omonye ya friend say omba bias. But this is a Chief Justice, the administrative head of the judiciary. We will make sure that people will be integrity-driven individual. Honesty and candor will be on their part. Now, you as a Chief Justice cannot guarantee the honesty and the integrity of the people you are working with. You want the ordinary Ghanaian to guarantee that particular thing. And America says, so what's now rationally, if you want to put it on the table and analyze it, you could see clearly say, and she rather exposing herself. And again, one accusation say, Shining Star no crown or court registrar we are. There is nowhere in the constitution that says say group at the petition back president that they should be a registered group. There is nowhere in the constitution that says a mature petition president even within crime function. But it is only fair say you breach the principles of natural justice in anonymity. No, I'm saying that there is nowhere in the constitution that says Trump petition president you remove her. Go and read the constitution. It is nowhere say even your name should be there. But in implementing it, we are human beings. You cannot accuse somebody without knowing your accusers. And it's the reason why I am making sure say okay, be known. Some able to verify. But that is why I want whistleblowers and sometimes proceedings to me because but we're able to deal with the issue to the logical conclusion. I'm not a lawyer, but look at this coherent analysis that I'm making. But this is a Chief Justice, and she's making all this nonsense of allegation, just trying to build up conspiracy theories. Sabia Ghana for me say she's being hounded. Adia Oyen and Running was a smear campaign directing at John Mahama, just trying to shop public attention. Sabia man for me say, but one near my why you at the home.
Yeah, Tim.
Oh, me say
dead on arrival.
She's just a small piece of the bigger judicial puzzle now. Yeah, try to solve no. Oh no, she's insignificant. Yes, she's insignificant. She's just a small piece of the larger puzzle. And the Obiahuno, because the average Ghanaian now who call for sympathy, is concerned about the integrity of our judiciary. And for me, where I sit as a Ghanaian, in recent time, when I look at the Supreme Court, rulings every Supreme Court, a market woman at Makola can look at it and say, there is no sense in the ruling. For instance, how can you tell me it's a birth certificate and yet your friend is saying primary document, but travel document a passport. If you are not traveling, you don't need a passport. Travel document is a private passport. How can you be sensible as a judge and make this particular ruling? These are things that I'm for lose trust and confidence in the judiciary. And again, Mama doing. And she's talking about your friends integrity. Yantiana Akufo-Addo appointee obi a oye field parliamentary candidate of the MPP in the person of George Jau. I'm on betena panel so. Issue no buy go, issue no buy no. Your friend is saying, sorry, always concern about Chief Justice Kachira and say proceeding na ekoso no any political issue. I'm asking her say proceeding na ekoso no. Is it a political issue? Because Daniel Ford is not a politician. Police in India or this should a politician. Shining Star and a politician. So what is a problem? And again,
when you be defending it to say former attorney general mo MPP for any adine
na say ade no wom dada Mugabe mame san kan say ba control one of the nsem na ok me na no one nsem na okan no say shining star no opesen kom magina ayefa nsan omo metoto omo ano omo say anya ada say ombeba o kai say we no kan say like she want to put them and ask them questions, they are not ready. Court anya by force. Now I would have 2020 elections na ekoedo. Chachu Chikata wanted Yafasa J. Manson to come and testify. Mo catch I say mo man kwan man Begina box enyanto na toko no ka movie. Na ene obi a shining star no so me or my testifier because you can just write affidavit in support of your initial petition and the court will sit on it. That is what I'm telling you, sir. You see, if or you be a sense of shame, because she will not be putting that package of nonsense that she put out there yesterday.
Press conference.
It's just she was just manufacturing nonsense and attempting to sell same to Ghanaians, but we are not ready to buy it. And again, I say president establishing the premier facia, President Ed, and I'm asking her and challenging her as a Supreme Court judge, say. Constitution article being a president breach here because Mugabe yati the constitution is very vague in its interpretation dealing with some of these. It says the president will receive a petition and forward same to Council of State to establish merit credence and make sure the threshold within which something can be identified as a petition or qualified. Yeah. President J and all forwarded the same to Council of State. Mamin Kanka say yati there is no single constitutional procedure be a emotional regularizing how premier facia should be established. All that we know is the president receive a petition for it to Council of State. That has always been the process. Yet there are any probably so now president I the same process. You have the gut to come to the public space and say you are being handed for the and nobody even wanted to resign at this point. We want to get to the bottom of this particular matter. And again, also President Asane a warrant of way on Tiasia. You see, this woman is a joke. Mugabe tie, my time tie. So our constitution, is quite clear. You don't need to go to law school and say what Tiasia. Constitution is say Council of State established the premier facia, which means credence has been established. And the next line, I say you set up a committee. So president set a committee. Then there is a constitutional discretionary injunction on the president to exercise either to suspend the woman or let her stay. That power is solely rested with the president. Nobody can exercise that power apart from the president. So this is the power that president has exercised. Then the Chief Justice goes on public and says, what? I think she should give us a break. And again, last one. Or say, a man for a threatening is on resigning. Now, will be a Chief Justice will be threatening a press conference. Why don't you go to the police? Fantastic. So you see, I think that what she did was an attention shopping stunt. Something or try to blackmail the president. But trust me, John Mahama a mistake now of falling for some of these things. Now, now or institute woman where pressure so I think that is bigger than the one who pay because Ghanaians are more say sanitize your judiciary. You don't change or no more fighting for. We want the judiciary to be sanitized, and for me that is what we are looking out for.
Yenya Obama or Angel FM. Nyamia Aduma Mimenda ewo adroba mufan for nyine entuso ne mamie yi baso enua Rashid ya ne wona nanom FM ono so ni nua ba eno no nti ye maame madam Habiba Rashid wato nanom ewo nsiedo te nyamia Aduma eda Saturday di enim 29 June 2025 ewo adroba and omodi aye no adoa ni bibia be de be koso tienua Sadiq Obama of Angel TV and Angel FM yema ho shede ni abusuani na fantastic obade ne dum ya ne etenkwama o kire Friday ebedin sha listo medase for your time
that's na me de betu fo se obi ahwe tokonu ahwe asie no fan tu ne ho
very well
sanse emre eni ho madasani bi
beto yom dia ma rade
na wetie mi sun fre
ready
nti Mugabe mame emfa konya we sunchia fonya
okay
big brother omosusu omo
big brother motors
ne
George Afonso teacher ya ne ya
fonya
di apolache
say no who say
agro na guana
na bi enwu
power kase ebo na
ko fori na farming koye
ni asempa ye di besi ya madam ase madam listen wase madam production team nyina ase anyumre no ase akase ebo me we se be poso o cross ni ni team no o mo de bre o fa bia de power kase ebo na ba ye jama mo wai wonto aso